North Korea doesn't do anything by mistake. It was their fourth nuclear weapons test, and they had a lot of things they wanted to cover, and they felt like Otto was going to provide them the security they needed to get away with these things.
Oh my God, to frame Otto to say that, oh, we need to escalate our military power because the Z Society and the Methodist Church and the CIA are all three conspiring against against North Korea, that we have to scale our military power.
Then, in 2018, Michael Flukinger, the doctor that helped bring Otto back to the US, revealed a new piece of information to GQ. The staff at the North Korean hospital where Otto stayed told Flukinger that they received him the day after his trial, and he was already unresponsive.
What? So he was in, like, a coma for a year?
They had to resuscitate him, then give him oxygen and put him on a ventilator, or he would die, Flukinger told GQ. Also, there's a brain scan dated April 2016.
We received copies of brain MRI images from the medical personnel in North Korea. The earliest images...
So how did he eat pork and spinach? BN, that was already disproven, bro. He did not have botulism. That was a lie that North Korean officials said to the United States to say that they didn't torture him.
Are dated April 2016. Based upon our analysis of those images, the brain injury likely occurred in the preceding weeks.
Of course, the North Korean story might be a lie. It might not be true that he was hospitalized the morning after his trial, but there is strong medical evidence that he sustained his brain injury in the days or weeks after March 16. In any case, Otto Warmbier...
Why the fuck did they not return him then? You know what I mean? Like, if they did that to him right then, why did they not... Like, why did they keep him? Like, that doesn't make sense.
But it's very unlikely that he was actually sent to one of the notoriously horrific North Korean labor camps. American detainees are treated differently. According to GQ, Otto Warmbier most likely stayed in a used guest house in downtown Pyongyang during his detention. The hard labor he was sentenced to would likely have been planting soybeans and making bricks. Grueling, backbreaking work, but nothing compared to coal mining, which is typical for North Koreans. North Korea needed him as a bargaining chip, and bargaining chips don't...
Oh my God, so maybe they didn't actually put him in that state. They just needed him as, like, what, like a trade? Like, as fucked as it sounds, like a trade token. Like, it's something they could fall back on.
Have much value if they aren't in good condition. And in a sense, he was.
We believe that for somebody who's been bedridden for more than a year, that his body was in excellent condition, his skin was in excellent condition, and we didn't see any evidence of decupid eye or bed sores.
In its article, GQ proposes a different theory than torture. During the 2 months between his detention and his confession, Otto was likely subjected to relentless interrogation for as long as 15 hours per day. The only respite from the interrogation would have been North Korean propaganda films. Previous prisoners were told their government had forgotten them. Some fell into debilitating depressions, even attempting suicide. At trial, so hours, weeks, or days before he supposedly fell into a coma, he was visibly desperate.
Please think of my family. Give me the oldest son in my family.
GQ speculates that in the hopeless hours after his sentencing, Otto may have attempted to take his own life. A lack of oxygen to his brain could have caused his injury. Of course, this theory is just one of many. An allergic reaction to a sleeping pill, an excessive administration of drugs, a suicide attempt, a heart attack, a form of torture that left no obvious lasting marks. It could have been any of these things. Without Otto here to tell the tale, we may never know the truth.
I mean, like, couldn't he, I'm just saying, I don't know if this happened. Couldn't he have tried to hang himself, like, 3 days after? Cut oxygen to his brain, didn't die. They save him, but now he's perpetually in this state, and the wounds that would be on his neck would have healed by the time he was sent back. He wouldn't have neck scars because he wouldn't have any laceration that would have been there would have been healed by the time they returned him.
In May 2018, something weird happened. Trump tweeted that he was going to meet Kim Jong-un in person, and everything changed.
Getting a good
I'm instantly asking that motherfucker what the hell they did to Otto.
picture, everybody, so we look nice and handsome and thin.
After the Singapore summit, Otto's name all but disappeared from Trump's lips, replaced by the name of Kim Jong-un.
And then we fell in love, okay? No, really. He wrote me beautiful letters, and they're great letters. We fell in love.
The previous year, Trump tweeted that he tried so hard to be Kim's friend and referred to their relationship as
It's a very special relationship.
In 2019, when asked whether he thought Kim knew about Otto's case, his reply was startling.
I don't believe he knew about it.
The Warmbiers were outraged.
Get the fuck out of here.
Trump had helped them bring Otto home and relisted Kim Jong-un's country as a state sponsor of terrorism. Now he seems to admire him?
Well, he is very talented. Anybody that takes over a situation like he did at 26 years of age and is able to run it, and run it tough. Very few people at that age, you can take 1 out of 10,000 probably couldn't do it.
Otto Warmbier was many things.
1 out of 10,000. Historically, the average person in power was younger than him. Bro, like, why are we glazing Kim Jong-un for being able to take over a dictatorship that was fucking handed to him? Like,
An all-American boy, an unlucky tourist, a loving son. But on the international...
Kim Jong-un was notably a bad student. Like, that was said of, like, he didn't do his homework, didn't show up on time. He was lazy. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? We're just glazing Kim Jong-un.
stage, he was a pawn and a symbol. Pyongyang deployed Otto on the chessboard of politics, using him domestically as a mouthpiece to spread anti-American propaganda, and internationally as a bargaining chip, a hostage to be traded for the easing of sanctions or other U.S. concessions. For the Trump administration, Otto Warmbier was useful as a symbol, driving the narrative that he was tortured by a barbarous regime and possibly using his death as a means of psychologically preparing the American public for war, the threat of which Trump hoped would make Kim back down. Otto was sentenced to 15 years hard labor for an alleged crime that in most countries would be considered, at worst, vandalism, based on a sham trial. No matter what happened to him,
I think in most countries, you wouldn't even get arrested. I think in most countries, you would probably get a small fine, or they would be like, you're just banned from coming back to the hotel.
that in itself is damning enough. And even if he likely never had to go to one of North Korea's prison camps, they are hell on earth. Uncertainty about his cause of death.
What'd he do? Take a poster. And it might have not even been him. Everybody that was with him said that he wasn't even at the hotel at the hour that they said that he did it. And you can't see a face. You only see the figure of a man. And there's a lot of men in the world. So, like, that shit just pisses me off. I fucking rip Otto in the chat because that was fucking horrible. Like, wow. Smaller and smaller circle here that's following him place to place.
Gave up on Chen Tu entirely and began the process of moving back to Taiwan. He told everyone that he would punish himself by giving everyone in the crowd the next 10 minutes to either crucify or stone him to death, which nobody took him on.
What? He told his followers, all right, you guys could just stone me to death. It's fine. I was wrong.
From there, Chen Tao's numbers were severely reduced, and the group faded into obscurity by the early 2000s. Who even knows? He might even still be out there.
I hope they crucified him.
What if one guy's like, I will? He's like, well.
The one guy actually does lean. You guys could stone me, man. I'm sorry. I was so wrong about the end of the world. All right, I'll do it. Oh, wait, no. No. When I meant like figuratively stone, like maybe hurl insults at me, not actually kill me.
1 second. The ball just like fucking gets stung. End of the world predictions have only become more common with the advancement of technology, and it wasn't too long ago that people thought computers were going to end the world.
There still exists a general state of either denial, complacency, or even apathy about both the reality and the potential effects of Y2K.
The year is 1999, and a lot of people are getting ready to celebrate the new millennium. However, not everyone's excited. A large group of people fully believe that the world was going to end as soon as the ball dropped because the world's computers would fail.
8 to 10% of the population were fairly confident that this was going to be an apocalypse.
It was
8 to 10% of the world population believed that the world would end or go into disaster in 2000. What, because technology would stop working because it wasn't able to function or something? Why the fuck would technology stop working?
believed that the planes would crash, nuclear reactors would melt down, and systems controlling rockets would fail and be launched at random. All of this delirium stemmed from a simple misunderstanding of computers' code. Up until this point, computers' dates had worked from 00 to 99. But people believed that when the computer switched to 00, it would actually go back to 1900 and cause computer systems to fail. Oh, God!
No, it would just change the number. And the year 2000 is also based off the Gregorian calendar, which the majority of the world functions on. It actually has no definitive relation to the Earth at all. We for some reason live at 2025. It's not actually 2025. The Earth has been around for a long fucking time. It's based off the Gregorian calendar, which is based off Jesus.
God! To prepare for this upcoming event.
But roughly, because actually wasn't Jesus actually born around like the year 4 AD, not 0? Yeah, he was born between 6 and 4 BC. I don't know.
Then people withdrew their cash, believing that electronic banking would fall apart and destroy them financially. Businesses like Best Buy and Radio Shack warned people to turn off their computers so they wouldn't be messed with the time switch. And others built bunkers and stocked up supplies. On New Year's Day, all the computers switched over and there were minor crashes. Various ATMs were temporarily down and stoplights occasionally stopped working and random databases went down. No major computer system failed and all seemed to be normal. Out of all the craziness, nobody died, though a 104-year-old woman was invited to join a preschool because the system believed she was 4. Isn't that cute? That's awesome. If you're watching this, chances are the most memorable end of the world prediction from your...
That is pretty funny. You live so long that you start getting emails to join a preschool because because computers recognize you as 4 years old.
Your lifetime is the 2012 phenomenon. For people that don't remember this, or if you're too young or whatever, let me just tell you, when I was a kid, the 2012 thing, people were actually afraid of 2012. They were really afraid. My grandma, who has now passed, was like, we were watching the History Channel. She used to chain smoke cigarettes. We'd be watching like the History Channel. Of course, the History Channel had nothing to do with history. It was like aliens and shit. She's chain smoking cigarettes, and then we were watching this 2012 thing, and she was getting me like horrified. And I was like watching it. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, like full on telling her, or full on telling him, you know, this is actually gonna happen. It's 2010. You only got 2 more years left, Hunter. I'd take those years I'd cherish them if I were you. Me, I've lived a long life. You're gonna die young. Sorry.
This is real? I'm like, this is like how many? This is like 10 years from now, you know, whatever. And she was like, when that year comes around, we should all stay together and we should just get together and make sure that we're with family. And I was like, what a haunting thing to say. It's like so cryptic, but everything's there. Like, we're gonna die and we should be together. It fucked me up, dude.
Was it the Nostradamus?
No, it was like, it's been so long, I can't remember. But all I know is just like the Mayan calendar's ending. Which also, even as a kid though, she's like, what the fuck do they know? And she was like, well, the Mayans. I'm like, who cares about the Mayans? The fuck, maybe they ran out of stone. You know what I mean? I mean, how far were they just like, I mean, it'll pretty much be done by then. The idea that the world would face a cataclysmic event in 2012 didn't emerge out of nowhere. In fact, people claim that it was predicted thousands of years ago during the ancient Mayan civilization. A device called the long count calendar was used to measure time at a very long cycle that counted years in large chunks. In short, a new grand cycle was said to occur after every 13 Baktuns. Each Baktun consisted of 394.26 years. And it was just so happens that the 13th one lands on December 21st, 2012. Instead of treating it similarly to the exciting beginning of a new millennium, people convinced themselves that a terrifying world-ending event would occur at the time. So much so that they even made fucking movie about it with John Cusack. Really dumb. Not a good movie. He's in a limo and he whatever. Theories are ranged from disastrous fires, flooding, aliens invasions, and planetary collisions, and mass extinction. Some kids growing up around believers of this impending disaster admitted to developing serious fear and anxiety problems in their older years to their parents' endless paranoia. It was up. If you have
bro, but the Mayans didn't even say the world was going to end. It was just their calendar reset, and then people were like, yeah, this definitely means the Mayans knew the aliens were coming and they were going to fucking kill everybody on Earth.
The worst thing you can do is tell your kid I'm really afraid. Because as a kid you're like, what? And they're like, you're fine. I'm afraid. Custom high-end doomsday bunkers saw a 700% rise.
Yeah, as a parent, you got to just lie to your kid in that sense. Even if you are scared, you just tell them you're not. Because if you tell your kid, your kid, a 5-year-old's going to look at their parents as God. They're the end all to everything. So whatever they say goes. So if you tell them you're fucked, that'd be in their perspective, God telling you he's terrified and he has no control. You'd be like, what do you mean? You're the only one what do you mean? You're at the top. That'd be mortifying.
During this time, as ultra-wealthy people wanted to play it safe and ensure the safety of their friends and family. Some preppers, like Tim Ralston in Arizona, would often perform doomsday dress rehearsals with the two children to make sure they were ready for the worst come December 21st. Another couple, Kathy and Bruce from New England, decided to stockpile bees instead of weapons. According to them, honey would become a valuable bartering tool in the coming apocalypse. I love that dude. That's a badass. Over in China, Liu Xingzhe decided to go a much different route, spending his entire life savings of $160,000 to build a 70-foot by 50-foot ark-like vessel to protect himself. He feared flooding the most and believed
that shit does not look like it would float.
Taking his homes to the seas would be the best option. Liu offered to let other people take refuge in alongside him. My boy Liu's selfless. He's a good man. In the end, the day came and went without anything significant occurring. Here we are.
I like to think that every time these doomsday predictions, that they actually happen in an alternate universe or the universe that keeps going on.
You like to think that?
Yeah.
We're a quantum immortality universe.
On TikTok, a woman opened up about how she and her husband have been talking with the Sumerian demon since July of 2013.
Me and my husband have essentially been talking to something on a Ouija board that goes by the name of 7.
Oh, something on a Ouija board that goes by the name 7. Oh, wait, let's rewind. You and your husband were talking to a thing on a Ouija board made by Hasbro Games,
who has been telling us that the world is going to end May 27th, 2025.
On TikTok rules, dude. She claims that one day the couple got bored and began to use a Ouija board, and out of nowhere, it began to talk to them in reverse binary.
In the moment, we have no idea what.
Bro, y'all are lame as hell. I'm so sorry. You and your fucking husband or boyfriend literally spent hours just fake moving a Ouija board around and fucking trying to decrypt what it was telling to you. This is so lame. Bro. She has a notebook of, dude, they probably sat by this Ouija board for hours.
What this means, we Googled it later. This is again, July 2013. And it turns out it's binary, but it's backwards binary. So in this way, it meant nothing. But when we reversed the numbers, it memeant hello. Since
that day, they began regularly communicating with the demon. Goddamn, they became friends with him.
Yeah, I know.
Yo, Rockschmaw, you there? Yo, Rockschmaw's funny as dude. The demon had told them that they are the third group he has contacted. And the first two died during the first atomic bomb dropped in World War II. And the others was when JFK was assassinated. So the demon contacted JFK. Eventually, it revealed that the world would end on May 27th, 2025. It repeatedly told them to climb the mountain or return to the mountain in Sumerian. She said that they revealed the secret to close friends and strangers once they were drunk.
We have shared this with people. They either kind of wave it off, they're like, oh, that's cool, or they pretend, they say they're interested, but then they never really follow up.
Another person...
Yeah, because they're just trying to be nice and not call you fucking insane. Because they're your friends, they're not trying to go, hey, Cynthia, I think you're actually fucking crazy. I think this is the stupidest thing you've ever told me. And the fact that you and your husband have been spending the last, 3 years communicating to a demon on a Hasbro Games board is a bit of a waste of time.
claims to have a recurring dream every 7 to 8 years where people all around the world gather to watch as the moon turns completely black. Like the eclipse? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Not long after, large groups of alien ships fly out from behind it and start terrorizing Earth. People flee and pray as they try to survive. Eventually, the night sky is empty and blown apart.
Like, if I could only buy a Ouija board at like if I could only buy a Ouija board with like the blood of a frog and the hand of a monkey, and I had to go under a bridge at 3 a.m. and unlock a door in a weird black market to buy the board, I would believe that that board was real. But the fact that I could go to my local Target and buy a Ouija board next to a Lego set of Super Mario Bros. Is probably telling me that that Ouija board is fucking fake. How do you say it? Ouija. A Ouija. I don't give a shit. A Ouija board. A Ouija board.
The person fully believes this is coming soon and that there have been warning signs all along. Yo,
a Luigi board. Maybe that's why it's next to Mario.
Roxas, stop that shit, bro. I'm gonna pee. A lot of people claim to have aliens in their dreams. Like one person who claimed to see a biblically accurate alien enslave the earth. Okay, first off, a biblically accurate alien. Got it. In their dream, a giant orange orb hovers over the earth, which is pulsating with plasma energy. It doesn't have eyes or any facial features, but everyone on earth felt like they were being watched. He described the being as God and explained that he knew without a doubt that the end of the world was imminent. The dream ended with the alien keeping people captive inside of a structure-like shopping mall and also abducting people and putting them into a giant orange orb. Sounds like he just wants to go to Orange Julius at the mall. Doesn't it? And I was super thirsty when I woke up. Rockshaw, stay away from me, man. Nobody truly knows when the world's gonna end, and that's probably a good thing. There are scientists out there who have listed numerous ways in which the Earth could end, right? Whether it's soon or within the next 1,000 years, but so far, every single prediction has been dead wrong. The next time you hear about some crazy world-ending event, take a step back and really think about what's being said. It's probably coming from someone who's chronically online or a scam artist looking to drain you of your bank account. Or, you know, pollution and all that kind of stuff will kill us too. There's a lot of fun ways the Earth's gonna end. It's gonna be sick. But hey, at least we have YouTube, am I right? Roll them credits!
I really liked that video. That was fun hearing about the various ways people convinced themselves the world was gonna end. Anyways.
It entered their territorial waters. Now it's a tourist attraction. When the North Korean tour guide explains that the ship was seized from the United States, he doesn't say
Yeah, and they always go, oh, with North Korea's might. With North Korea's might, we took hold of the ship. The very weak Americans died trying to fight us, and now we use it as a showcase that we're much stronger. Yo, we could flatten your country. Like, I mean, it's just it's garbage just being spit out of their mouth. Like, it is literally just like fucking king. Yo, nobody dick rides harder than the people of North Korea for Kim Jong-un. And it's not even because they want to. They have to, or they die.
United States. He says, the imperial enemy.
This is not political, chat, bro. I'm not putting a political warning.
In 1950 and 1953, the U.S. dropped an estimated 635,000 tons of bombs on the country, plus some 32,000 tons of napalm. Major cities were obliterated. 75% of Pyongyang was destroyed. During the war, as many as 1 million civilians perished.
Wow.
In 1953, a ceasefire ended combat in the Korean War, but a peace agreement was never signed. Technically, the North is still at war with the South, and with its ally, the US. Most Americans are unaware of this war, so much so that the Korean War is often referred to as the Forgotten War. Not so in North Korea. The North Korean tour guide explains what
some random history that I'm probably going to poorly explain to you is that the U.S. originally didn't even want to get involved in, like, Asian war, like, involvements. But during or right before the Korean War, something happened with Taiwan and the U.S. wasn't going to get involved. And because it was outside of like the line of protection or something that they had geographically drawn. And then there was something that roped in the U.S. to Korea. And then that like fucked everything for like the involvement of China and Taiwan, and then also like Russia and how they backed the North Korean. It was like the Iron Curtain involvement where they were trying to get South Korea to be taken over. And so it became this whole thing that the U.S. ended up getting in. I'm explaining this terribly. Yeah, it was like originally there was no plan for the U.S. to even enter the Korean War. Like we were just going to be like, we're out of it. It's not our problem, you know? And then they just roped us in.
82 American sailors that were captured along with the ship. They were beaten, starved, and only released after 11 months. Otto Warmbier is not visiting just any country.
Also, correct me if I'm wrong on that. I probably got info wrong there, and I explained it bad.
He's in enemy territory. Danny Grattan, his roommate during the tour, will later recount that Otto seemed a little bit shocked. To lighten the mood, he and the other tour members give Otto a nickname, Imperial Enemy. The rest of the tour goes smoothly. Sightseeing during the day, restaurants and bars at night. They even engage with the local kids by having a friendly snowball fight. One of the reasons people
You just throw an ice ball and kill one of them, and then that's a big deal too. That'd be fucking scary, bro.
travel is to understand the world a little better.
Like, I feel like if I was in North Korea, I wouldn't want to do anything there. Like, I would just sit in a room and wait until it was time to leave.
Brilliant does that for learning. It helps you engage with ideas in a hands-on way, so you can unlock
It's an ad.
to everything on the platform. Back to January 1st, after the fireworks. When the tour group returns to the Yanggokdo Hotel, they split up. Some go to the bar. Danny Grattan heads to the bowling alley. They lose track of Otto.
I'd be hitting that bowling alley up too, bro. Oh my God. Second they say we got a bowling alley in the hotel, yo, I'm on the lanes nonstop.
When Danny gets to his room, around 4:30 a.m., Otto is in bed, sound asleep. Then, a day and a half later, the group is ready to get on the plane. It's time to go home. As the last members of the group, Danny's and Otto's passports are checked. The officers take an unusually long time to scan their documents. Then Otto feels a sudden tap on his shoulder. There are 2 North Korean soldiers behind him. They lead him away. Danny doesn't think much of it and jokes, "Well, that's the last we'll ever see of you."
Oh my God, and that actually was the last time they saw him. I wonder if he would be able, like, was there anything he could have told them that would have them let him go? Because, like, they know he took the poster. So is there anything he could have said that would have been like, even if he was like, I love this country so much, I wasn't trying to commit a crime, I just wanted to have this poster as a memento because I'm too poor to ever come back here, and this is just something that I really wanted to, like, know. Even then, it just doesn't matter. You stole it.
Months later, Otto is standing trial in North Korea's Supreme Court. He's accused of...
I was going to start a North Korean worship cult in the United States, and this was going to be something that I wanted to spread North Korean ideologies to the United States. Like, even if you were saying some shit like that.
Violating Article 60 of the DPRK Criminal Code, state subversion. The central piece of evidence is this CCTV footage. It's time-stamped. The early hours of New Year's Day, 2016. It shows a staff-only area in the Yanggokdo Hotel. A shadowy figure removes a poster from the wall and appears to set it on the ground.
Oh, he was in a staff-only room? Do you think they would have noticed if he had taken something from the hotel? That's what I know this is in the hotel, but I'm saying his room. Like, that's more what I would have tried to do. Like, if I was going to take something, like something from the room.
The poster looked like this, a propaganda poster, and it contained the Supreme Leader's name. Let's arm ourselves strongly with Kim Jong-il's patriotism. To remove it from the wall is a serious crime, a bid to impair the unity of North Korea's people. And that shadowy figure? According to the prosecutors, that is Otto Warmbier. The trial only lasts an hour. The young pioneer's North Korean tour guide testifies against Otto. A second witness takes the stand, an employee who says they noticed the poster had been taken from the wall. Otto's belongings are presented as evidence, and fingerprints are shown on a flat-screen TV. But most of the supposed evidence came from Otto's confession 2 weeks earlier. Here, he goes into the details.
Oh my God, don't tell me he actually didn't take the poster and they just framed a random guy.
On January 1st, 2016, New Year's Day, I committed severe crimes against both the people and the government of the DPR Korea. The task was given by the Friendship United Methodist Church. At the encouragement of the Z Society and the connivance of the United States administration.
He's saying that the U.S. government and the Methodist Church implored him to take the poster. Did he take it or did he just put it down? Like, I don't understand.
I came to commit this crime task.
The full story goes like this. His friend's mother, a deaconess at the Friendship Methodist Church in his hometown of Cincinnati, Ohio, instructed him to deal a blow to North Korea by stealing an important political slogan to be hung in her church as a trophy. As a reward, he'd receive a used car worth $10,000. Were he to be detained, the church would pay his family $200,000.
The aim of this crime was...
Oh, wow. So this was literally just all set up by North Korea, and they just framed a guy to, like, say that he was conspiring against the state?
To harm the work ethic and motivation of the Korean people.
He told his mother about his plans.
She cried and said not to do anything dangerous. I considered less, not wanting to hurt my mother. But since then, I received several alluring pressures from the Friendship United Methodist Church, leading me to finally decide on my crime attempt.
He then shared his plans with a member of the Z Society, a secret society at the University of Virginia that Otto wanted to join. He'd heard all of its members go on to get high-paying jobs.
He promised if I was successful, he would help me gain membership in the Z Society.
Finally, he decided to do it.
After I planned in detail to accomplish my plan.
Yo, and, like, do the North Korean people in this room believe this guy? Or do they also all know that this is a load of horse shit crafted up by some fucking dumbass on their end trying to say that, yeah, Otto Warmbier got paid by a random church pastor to fucking steal a poster. And that if he stole the poster, he would receive great financial gains and a used $10,000 car, as well as high-position job.
Did not care. Why does she have 9 fucking cameras from like 2003?
It's online.
My God, why do you have so many cameras?
Wow.
Well, that's the thing. If it's just going to happen, you got a 2-week heads up. Take a 2 weeks vacation. See if it...
No. I'm closing it down. It's the principal, Nick. Because she's like, it doesn't matter. We're free. She's letting them know, too. She's making a statement, right? She's standing behind. She's staying on business.
Listen,
you should yourself.
You should go on the tallest building. You should yourself. Jump off it up. No fly. Big splat on ground.
Hey, we just want to thank today's sponsor real quick, Star Ford. And hey, back to the video. Since they were not expecting to be left on Earth, people began to give away all their money to random strangers. Smart. An Uber driver posted about how they were picking up a couple after church who were crying hysterically.
And they get in my car and, they're weeping. And so I'm like, hey, is everything okay? They were like, yeah, the Lord is coming back. Jesus is coming back tomorrow. And I was like, wait, like tomorrow? They were like, yeah, I think it's like between the 23rd and the 24th. I was like, oh.
Bro, I'd get fired over that shit. Oh my God, I would get banned on the Uber app. I'd be like, your crazy ass thinks you're getting raptured tomorrow, bro. I wouldn't be able to hold that in. Like if I was Uber driving two people out of church and they were crying, saying they were gonna get taken in light, like floating into the sky, I'd be like, bro, you need.
Okay.
They said they believed the rapture was coming the next day and wanted to bless their driver with the remaining money since they wouldn't need it. Oh, dude,
This makes us Christians look bad. I think most people recognize the difference between Christianity and insane people that think they're getting raptured. Like now, right? Like believing the rapture different from being like, yeah, I'm getting raptured tomorrow.
It's a blessing in disguise. God was just like, you got it, dude. There's your tip. You know what I mean? So before they got out of the car, they handed their driver a huge roll of cash containing various dollar bills and coins from around the world.
So it's like a bundle full of cash. Now,
they just gave him money?
Various dollar bills and coins from around the world.
So it's like a bundle full of cash. Now, keep in mind, in this bundle, there's even coins in it because it was like in this like cup thingy or whatever. So there's even like euros, and I see some Canadian money in here. So there's dollars, there's hundreds, there's 20s, there's fives. Like there's all the denominations inside of this. So I have yet to count it up. So I'm going to count it up and come back. Hold on.
After counting it up, it totaled to over $1,900.
They gave bro $2,000? Nah, him being nice was probably the move. What the fuck?
They also said that they were getting together in their neighborhood to discuss giving away their homes and more.
Oh my God, dude, oh no, that's dickhead shit if you feed into that. I would have to be like, please don't do this. You're fucking yourself over. But part of me so bad would want to be like, I'll buy your house. I'll buy your house for $1. I'll buy your house for $1 if you want to.
Their money. He's like, could you give me your address? Tell me the time for that. I would love to know the exact time and place for that. Hold on. Jesus is giving me another message.
You should open up your garage door and let this man live in the basement, free of charge.
Okay, Jesus. All right, you're coming home with us. Who knows? Jesus works in mysterious ways.
I was going to say, this sounds... Okay, here's the thing. I think Jesus was pulling a prank. I think he...
Haha, Joshua. Knock, knock. It's me, Jesus. I was kidding the whole time. Practical joke on Joshua. But here's the thing, I didn't joke about Joshua. There he's come all over my feet and my legs.
What the fuck is he saying right now?
Said that would happen 2 weeks ago.
Oh, Jesus, you're gone done pulled the prank on me. Not even Africa. It's like Jamaica. All right. Another person received a $300 tip from a woman who was overly generous for the same reason. Their coworker also received a $777 from the same woman, but after the rapture failed to happen, she came back demanding the money be returned to her. That's
demanding it be returned to her? You giving her money back, chat? This woman tips you $1,000 because she thinks she's getting raptured. I'd feel like a dick if I don't give the money back, but I'd also be like, I would outwardly give her the money back, and I'd be like, okay, I'll give you $1,000 if you write "I'm stupid" on your forehead. Like, I would have to be like, bro, come on. Like, you need to. I would be like, I need something out of this for shock value, just because you're outwardly just but you're handing your money away. Why are you doing that?
It's not very Christ-like, lady. Not every Christian believed in this, as many were trying to tell the others that this is literally stated in the Bible that only God knows when the rapture...
She was going to leave me behind, but only give me $300? That is fair. I'd be like, if she give me $300, I'd be like, why not the whole bank account? I mean, fucking sitting there. Actually, do you have more than... Did you drive here in a car? Oh, could you sign the pink slips to me, or?
Is coming. Yeah, but Jesus told Joshua, it's me, Jesus, again. I'm being for real this time.
Oh, Jesus, I am not listening to you.
Jesus, I cannot listen anymore. The people.
She comes back the next day. Can I have my car back? Already blew it up with a rocket launcher. What? Yeah, it was for a YouTube video. It only got like 10 views, though. It was pretty... You want to see? Here it is, though. It's just their car getting fucking demolished.
Oh, mud.
Yeah, I actually gave it to Mr. Beast. He exploded it in a Squid Games segment, if that makes you feel any better.
I feel like I had like a really good like African thing going at the beginning, and then it slipped away. Others pointed out that people have been predicting the rapture since the 1800s and would always try and convince people to worry about the next upcoming final day, right? This one's not just worry about the next one. However, However, the 23rd and 24th came and went. Nobody was called up for the pearly gates, and everyone went about their day as usual. Some who believe the hoax claimed that they got the date wrong.
No shot this many people were outside waiting.
It said it was actually next year, or a few years down the road, or maybe a couple more years after that. And some questioned their faith, and the pastor who made the initial prediction went live and apologized for everything. Oh, God. Why did I do that? It was not even Jesus who called to me, it was my mom.
Can a brother make a mistake?
Well, let's go back in time and take a look at other historic examples like the predictions proposed by William Miller. It looks a little haunting. William, you know, if he said anything to me, I'd be like, okay, William, the world's gonna end tomorrow, face.
What was the one from 2012? That was the Mayan calendar, right?
Thank you, William. William was a clergyman that had become obsessed with the Bible after returning from fighting in the Battle of Plattsburgh in
Aztec calendar?
1814. Just want to show maybe a picture of it.
No, show some footage.
Oh, there's 2000. Yeah, there's the year 2000, 2012.
Yeah, shows footage.
Do you think if humans are still alive in the year 2999, there's going to be like a movement that the world's going to end on the year 3000? I wonder if humans will still be that stupid. Yeah, why 3K?
Of the Battle of Plattsburgh in 1814, when cameras were definitely around. Crazy stuff. He found himself particularly fascinated with the concept of Christ's return, aka he had PTSD and he might have been a schizophrenic. After seeing people die, you know what's kind of wild? Jesus coming back, right, guys? Okay, William. He became responsible for creating the Protestant religion movement known as Millerism, aka the followers of the belief that the second coming of Christ would occur sometime between March 21st, 1843 and March 21st, 1844. God, in that realm, right? This movement became popular.
But where do they get these dates from? Just like random scripture passages that they interpret in like a poetic way? Like, how are they getting this specific year?
Amassing an estimated 100,000 followers that were convinced that the world was nearing its end. They were strong in their beliefs despite being ridiculed and harassed by their peers. Which, dude, for those 3 decades, you must have been living so tall. Keep it counting, boys. Oh, you guys don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Uh-huh. Yeah.
This is like a common theme with all of these. They get it wrong. They're like, no, wait, it's the other date.
Yeah, it'll always be like a month later. What was that one religious guy? He was like decrepit, dude. He looked like a raisin. He was like 95. And he kept predicting the wrong date. And he was like, oh, I actually did my math wrong. I forgot this one passage about 73 fishes. I have to add that onto the top. And then you actually have to add like another 10 years just like to make sure. So it's like, honestly, it'll probably be like around here, not this date. It's going to be another like month or two after. Harold Camping. Yeah, he would randomly start adding numbers just out of like, he would be like, well, this passage has the number 83 in it.
Because you're delusional. Because they believe it, and then they're like, oh, it was probably a mix-up. You put your whole belief system in that. It's really quite sad, Nick. During one event, William was egged by an audience member during one of his speeches, and I bet that insane.
He was egged by like a 15-year-old.
Him over the edge. In the span of just a few years, people prepared for this event by selling most of their belongings and turning their—
Oh wait, no, oh my God, no, he was egged in the 1800s. This is just a video of a guy getting egged by a 15-year-old.
By an audience member during one of his speeches.
What the hell am I thinking?
And I bet that sent him over the edge. In the span of just a few years, people prepared for this event by selling most of their belongings and turning their backs on their responsibilities. By March 21st,
Why are they selling shit, though? Like, what is the point of selling shit? You have to have a shred of doubt if you're selling it. Like, just give it away.
1844, nothing had happened. The date would be moved to April 18th, only for it to fail once more. The last date proposed by William was October 22nd. On the day of, tons of people still believed in William. They put on their white ascension robes and climbed to the highest places available to them to await the second coming. Not only did this prove to be fruitless, but it led to a period known as the Great Disappointment, where people wept endlessly over their hopes being shattered alongside a—
I need someone to help me up to my chamber as my natural strength was leaving me very fast, and I lay prostrate for 2 days without any pain, sick with disappointment.
Wave of mockery from people asking, why haven't you ascended yet? First off, as soon as if William came in, if William the dog came in trying to eat his own face and handing out white robes, I'd be like, no, you gotta get out of this motherfucker.
Why? Robes are fancy.
Robes are cool, but if it's in religious context, robes are not cool. Yeah, we're just gonna put on these robes and go to the mountain. I'd be like, might have picked the wrong batch, is what I'd say.
You're like full leaning into it, and they're like, all right, guys, let's get in our robes. Ew. Nobody told me about this part.
If you, what about jackets? Like sick, like club jackets.
If they were club jackets, or even just a nice suit, you want to get dolled up to go to heaven? Why not? Robes, really? William Miller's popularity dwindled significantly, but he held firm to the belief that the second coming was approaching until he died in 1849. Maybe that's what he was. Maybe he was predicting his own death. Might have been. I don't know. The more that we learn about space, the more terrifying the unknown becomes, right? Very Lovecraftian. Since we've started studying the stars, one of the biggest threats to our planet has been stray asteroids that could potentially hit Earth, which actually up sometimes. Can't even think about it. There was one that they said, like, one asteroid's gonna pass by Earth.
Yeah, there's one that's passing by, and if it's like a very small chance. I think it's like 0.00 something. But if it passes by, that means the next orbit it has, it'll directly hit Earth. And everybody's like, that shit's so low of a chance. That ain't that. But most people take those odds gambling. Most people play the lottery and put money into something that has way less odds of happening. But when it's like, hey, there's like a 0.00001% chance that this asteroid threads a keyhole and then kills us in 30 years, nobody's worried. Do you think if we had a 30-year chance, though, like if we had a 30-year time frame, I feel like humans could destroy the asteroid? That would be the whole goal. If that asteroid threads the keyhole, society from then on for the next, 27 years or however long that shit is, it's 2.7%. That's really high. Wait, what? It's 2.7% chance? The asteroid Apophis is not expected to hit Earth, even though it will pass through a keyhole in 2029 that could have led to a collision in 2036. Thanks to further observations, scientists ruled both the 2029 and 2036 impact out, and Apophis will not pose a collision threat for the next 100 years. We're good, chat. We'll all be dead. Anyways, if an asteroid was going to hit Earth, say right now we knew, 30 years, an asteroid's hitting Earth. Do you think that we as humanity would be able to stop it? I think it depends how big the asteroid is. I'm pretty confident China, Russia, US all make buddies for a little bit, and we just start nuking the piss out of that fucking asteroid. We just start sending every fucking thing we have in the arsenal just right at that motherfucker. Yeah, just start blowing it up. Start redirecting it into... I don't think we would try and blow it up. I think we would try to change its orbit in some way where it passed.
Earth, and they're like, but when it passes by in 30 years, it's supposed to come back and hit us. I think they disproved it.
Here's my thing. If an asteroid's coming, don't tell me.
I would rather just not know. What benefit do you gain of being like, hey guys, seriously?
I'd want to know. Because I'd stop doing everyday bullshit before. What the fuck? If you were like, an asteroid's going to hit in 10 years, I'm not going to start thinking about shit for when I'm 50. I'd be like, all right, well, I'm going to be dead in 10 years, so I'll just go fucking do other shit. Like, you would change your game plan if you knew.
Oh, in movies and shit, in movies they do that to build conflict for the movie. But what would happen is, like, Elon and all those guys, they'd be like, I don't know, I'm just going to try this spaceship out. And they'd leave and never come back. As soon as that starts happening, well, Mark Zuckerberg's building like he built like a giant bunker in Hawaii.
Yeah, like $100 million bunker. It's like 10 floors, 30 floors or some shit.
He said, well, it's not a doomsday bunker. It's just...
And that's funny too. They're like, so what's up with the doomsday bunker? He's like, it's not really a doomsday bunker. It's just, you could live there for 700 years if you wanted to.
It's a man cave.
It's like more of a man cave. And you're like, huh? Anyways, in 1910, many believed a nearby comet would end humanity. Halley's Comet, remember that one? Is visible from Earth every 72 to 80 years and has been spotted by humans dating back since
72 to 80 years. It was last visible in 1986. 2061. All right, that's a goal for me to live that long. I'll be 59.
40 BC.
That's the Fortnite meteor. You see Halley's Comet and Kevin the Cube's on it. You're like, everybody forgets about Fortnite. It's 2061. It's Kevin.
Which is crazy. I mean, go somewhere else. Hello. Scientists had predicted that 1910 would be the next time it passes Earth and observed the comet flying by using a spectrograph. This new technology allowed astronomers to view the chemical composition of the comet, and to their horror, they discovered its tail that was made of cyanogen gas, which is extremely toxic. Oh, shit. After publishing the report, a French reporter put out an article discussing their findings, but also included a line saying the gas from the comet could, quote, impregnate the atmosphere and possibly snuff out all life on the planet. Bit of creative liberty in the title there, buddy. People began to freak out over the headline, believing that their death was imminent. Before the comet could pass, companies began to sell comet pills, which claimed to fight off the effects of the toxic gas. Insurance companies offered...
Oh, that's so awesome. That's so fucking awesome, dude. Literally just a scam product that people fell for. These comet pills are novelty only. They have no therapeutic value.
Comet pills, which claim to fight off the effects of the toxic gas.
Dr. Haley's Comet Fever, a once-in-a-lifetime confection.
Insurance companies offered policies of people's belongings in case they were destroyed. Farmers around the globe refused...
Oh, well, they just knew. The insurance companies knew that shit wasn't going to do anything. They were just fucking scalping money off people.
...to plant crops, believing that there was no point since everyone would be dead. No more corn. I'm done with corn. Others locked themselves inside their homes, while others fled to the caves and sealed themselves deep underground, which I'm pretty sure is partially some of the inspiration for Fallout.
Oh.
There you go. After the comet passed and nothing happened, people were shocked to still be alive, and they moved on with the rest of their lives. I wonder what's happened with the guy who took comet pills. Well, Greg, he took those, you like look over to him, he's like having a seizure.
He's on Halley's Comet right now.
Yeah. Woo! In 1993, former sociology professor Hon Ming Chen had created a Taiwanese cult named God's Salvation Church. It had also referred to itself as Chen Dao, or True Way, as well as God Saves the Earth Flying Saucer Foundation. I like that one the most. God Saves the Earth Flying Saucer Foundation. It was a belief system that was a mix of various religions and other Western cult-like beliefs, like the acceptance of alien intervention, right? You see a lot of that with Heaven's Gate. Kind of became a big thing in the 70s.
Yeah, the Heaven's Gate shit was so fucking stupid, though. There's an alien spaceship that's passing by. You have to kill yourself to reach it. Huh? Huh? If you die, you'll go to the gate. What? No.
Kind of evolved over time. He claimed that the second coming of Christ would occur in 1999, with God revealing himself from a spaceship disguised as clouds that would take his followers up to heaven.
That'd be sick.
He claimed that he could talk to the gods and receive their wisdom through golden balls that he could see traveling across the sky. Of course, salvation was not free. It was reported that Chen charged $60,000 to join Chen Tao and another $30,000
$60 grand
to board their spaceship. He's like, you keep it under 100. They won't be suspicious.
Mind games.
Exactly. It's all here. He convinced 140.
Bro, how do you convince people to pay money for that, though, if you're also leaving? I just don't. Like, I don't want to say. I understand it's like a cult and there's like a bit of brainwashing involved, but I'm like, dude, these people are like more than gullible. Like, you're flat out falling for somebody saying, hey, give me $100,000 and we're all going to go on a spaceship somewhere else. Why do you need the money?
He dedicated members to sell all their belongings and moved to California in 1995 after changing his mind about where the historic event would take place. This changed after followers witnessed the numbers 007 written in the clouds, which was interpreted as a sign that they must relocate their headquarters elsewhere. AKA, there was probably a 007 convention happening around. They're like, oh, Colorado, we gotta go. Despite the fact that this was actually just a marketing stunt to advertise the 19...
Oh my god, a fucking religious cult saw 007 in the sky and changed where they needed to all move because of a James Bond ad.
Bear trap. To advertise the 1997 James Bond movie Tomorrow Never Dies. They slowly relocated to Garland, Texas. Apparently, this is because Chin thought saying Garland really fast sounded like Godland.
From what Master Chin says, Garland sounds like Godland, and apparently thousands of years ago, God was here and they were told to return here.
Garland. What's that sound like? Can I do that accent, or is that a problem?
I think it's fine.
All right. Chin had guaranteed on his own life that God would make his appearance in Texas, of all places. Not a bad bet. You're in good company in Texas saying that kind of shit. Where would God go first? Everyone's like, probably fucking Texas. Probably fucking Texas, all right? In total, they purchased around 30 houses on Ridgedale Avenue, soon handing out flyers to its other inhabitants on bicycles in order to thank them for tolerating their activity in the neighborhood as well as their magnanimous acceptance. Trying to win people over. It's like, more money. Garland, we kind of weird. See a ball in sky.
Oh, no.
Garland, what's that sound like to you? Like, what? Garland, what's it sound like? Rhetorical. Don't talk. I talk you don't talk back. They would wear all white outfits and cowboy hats. Awesome. That is so sick. Confusing the neighborhood as to why they suddenly become the headquarters of a strange cult. Some claim they were friendly and that their beliefs were simply amusing to them. AKA, they're like, look, they look funny. What do you guys happen? Be alien. You don't talk to them. We cowboy now. Right, oh, okay, you are funny as man.
But when
that
did
is
they?
awesome.
Oh,
They claim
no.
that on
When did they fucking stop believing in that, though? Did they, like, turn on the leader guy?
the 25th, just days before, God would show himself on Channel 18 across every television set in the country, taking on Chin's exact appearance.
It's 5 minutes after 12 right now, and Hunmin Chin's not on there yet. And according to his own philosophy and preachings that we've heard, he's a phony.
He knew he had an interview coming.
So he had an interview for why it didn't happen and he just never showed?
I don't know. From there, God would then help people survive a nuclear apocalypse that would occur in 1999. It would bring people to a specific rendezvous point on the shores of Lake Michigan, where flying saucers would take them to heaven after potentially stopping briefly on planet Mars, of course. And people in the neighborhood feared that the group would end up committing a because, you know, Heaven's Gate. March 31st rolled around and still nothing happened. Chin approached a crowd of reporters and stated that he must have misinterpreted God's message. He stated that his remaining followers would once again relocate to New York. A large majority of them...
Oh my God, and the group definitely is just dwindling, you know? 140 people to start. First miss, 100. Second miss, 80. Third miss, 60. Like, he's getting a small... Why Otto Warmbier didn't survive North Korea. For the people that don't know Otto Warmbier, he is the guy that took the poster off a hotel wall in North Korea. They set him back in a vegetative state, and he died.
This is Otto Warmbier. He's a 21-year-old American college student.
My crime is very severe and pre-planned.
No, it was not severe. And I also don't know really if it was pre-planned. I think North Korea's government that killed this guy and effectively tortured him is full of psychopath narcissists that don't understand that somebody taking a poster off your wall really isn't that big a deal. You probably could have charged him for it. I think any other hotel would maybe get him for, like, vandalism, and it would be like a petty crime, petty theft. But not to the point where he has to be on a big news station and he's pleading for his life.
Travel agency. The destination was Pyongyang, the capital of North Korea.
On the early morning of January 1st, 2016, I committed my crime aimed at harming the work ethic and the motivation of the Korean people.
Are we serious? Are we serious? Yo, they wrote that out for him to say. There's no way. I aimed at harming the North Korean people's work ethic. He took a poster off a wall, bruh. You're acting like he took a on Kim Jong-un's statue.
After a night of partying, he allegedly took a poster from the hallway of his hotel. Shortly after, he was detained for perpetrating a hostile act against the Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
I understand the severity of my crime.
Now he's here, trying to save his life, at the mercy of a totalitarian dictatorship.
I have been very impressed by the Korean government's humanitarian treatment of severe criminals like myself. And if
Are we dead ass? Dude, when he got off the plane, that motherfucker got wheeled out.
They put him in like a coma borderline. Are we serious? I respect how nice they've been treating me. When he got back, he died.
They're very fair and square legal procedures in the DPR Korea.
A communist regime that nurtures a deep hate for America.
The United States administration already knows about my act through the CIA. And
yo, I actually always used to say that I would go to North Korea if they let Americans go there. I'm now changing my mind because I know they would kill my ass. I have talked so much shit about Kim Jong-un and North Korea in general, like so much shit. I couldn't pull up and be like, hello, I love your country. There's no prisoner camps here. You're not killing your people. You're a great leader. Your people aren't malnourished. No. You invented the hamburger. Oh, wow. Oh, your father invented the hamburger. Sorry. Wow. Really? Yeah, you just came up with the idea.
Connived at my crime.
Soon, the case of this college kid will escalate the already tense relationship between two nuclear powers.
North Korea best not make any more threats to the...
And I also, bro, I gotta say, it's not, there's no feeling bad for Kim Jong-un, but like, Kim Jong-un is definitively a product of the environment he grew up in. Like, Kim Jong-un would be a regular guy if he had not grown up with his father being a psycho dictator that spoiled him and like ensured that he would be the leader of his nation. Like, his son, Kim Jong-un wasn't even supposed to be the leader of North Korea. His older brother was supposed to. But his father called him a pussy and said that he couldn't lead because Kim Jong-un was better and like capable of doing that shit because his older brother was too into music and was too womanly or something. Like, Kim Jong-un was literally manipulated from the second he was a child to be the leader of North Korea.
United States, they will be met with fire and fury.
Otto Warmbier, at this point, has no idea what he is about to face.
An American is being held captive in North Korea. He was sentenced to 21 years of hard labor.
Those prisons are rough places. If something very bad happened to him.
Americans' fateful trip to North Korea.
Complete failure to recognize fundamental human rights.
And I mean, dude, you're not even thinking like, not only is he in North Korean prison, he's in just foreign prison, which is already terrifying. Like, imagine you're a guy that only speaks English and you get imprisoned in China. You're in jail or prison, and no one speaks the same language as you. Like, maybe in China they would. In North Korea, no one speaks English because they hate English. They hate Western ideologies. So you're literally just like getting screamed at. You don't know what's going on.
Rights.
The dreams of a young man.
You're fucked.
Destroyed by dubious charges from a ruthless regime.
This very press conference might be his last chance to save his life.
I don't want to say, yeah, and I know that, like, they have him. Oh, my God. I feel like this is just one of those scenarios where it's like, and I'm not going to see, I know Trump was president when this was happening. And I think what he's doing right now, and he's like, we need to forcefully take over Greenland. Fucking crazy, right? Like, Denmark literally says we could use their military bases, and like, why is he saying that for his own personal gain? It's fucking weird, right? But like, this is one of those scenarios where I do wonder what would have happened if he was like, if Otto Warmbier comes back harmed, I will bomb North Korea. Like, if he just like flat out said that. Like, obviously he never would over this kid because he's not like, I don't want to say it, but it's like, the U.S. does hold value over important figures in foreign policy, especially with obtaining like either prisoners of war or, you know, people that are held captive in other countries. Like, if he was not just a random college student, it would be different.
Son in my family. My mother needs me. My father needs me. My younger brother and my younger sister need me. I entirely beg you.
people and government of the DPR Korea.
I think he is emotional, but what sucks is he has to put like this begging plea when like he's not in the wrong. Like he did a slap on the wrist thing and they kill him for it. He did something so minute. The counterpoint people are going to say is like, well, he was in North Korea, you should have known. But it's like, okay, bro.
For your forgiveness. Please. I have made the worst mistake of my life.
Otto Warmbier won't survive, and his case will bring
What'd he do? Took a poster off a wall.
the US and North Korea to the brink of war. But the version of events many people remember might not be true.
What? Can't start out the video
Much
like
of
that,
our
Fern.
research is based on this extensive GQ article. Find the link in the description. New Year's Eve, 2015. This is Kim Il-sung Square in Pyongyang.
It's not 2015 in North Korea. It's not 2015. New Year's Eve, different year in North Korea.
Thousands of North Koreans have gathered to watch the fireworks and greet the new year. Among them is a group of tourists. These are people from Europe, Australia, and the US. They're here with a travel agency, and they booked a 5-day, 4-night New Year's party tour for $1,200. Otto Warmbier is one of them.
I mean, that's crazy, dude, how much the country's changed since then that you were able to book a New Year tour in North Korea.
New Year's party tour for $1,200. Otto Warmbier is one of them. Now, after the fireworks, they return to their hotel, a 47-story tower located on a small island in the Taedong River. It boasts 5 restaurants, a bar, a sauna, a massage parlor, even a bowling alley. One of the restaurants revolves. Because of its location, people call it the Alcatraz of fun. During the tour, they'll drink at a fancy bar and eat at fine restaurants. And, on top, they get the full propaganda tour. They've already visited the 70-foot bronze statues of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il, the country's first 2 dictators. They're regarded as near holy figures. State propaganda has it that when Kim Jong-il was born at the site of a holy mountain, a double rainbow and a glowing new star appeared in the sky. Today, his birthday, the Day of the Shining Star, is a public holiday. Citizens spontaneously salute the massive statue.
Yeah, and they have his dead body in a fucking box. Or some shit. It's either him or his son. They have his dead body in a box that they, like, fucking visit. Or some shit. It's fucking weird.
Homage.
Yeah, he's in an eternal
Propaganda
slumber.
is everywhere. Billboards show images of missiles striking the US Capitol. Other posters sport slogans like, "Let's arm ourselves strongly with Kim Jong-il's patriotism." Disrespecting the communist dynasty can get you in big trouble. According to GQ, the Database Center for North Korean Human Rights confirmed a case of a factory janitor being prosecuted for bumping such a picture off the wall so that it fell and broke. Otto and the other tour members need to be careful. One wrong move, and they could face harsh punishment. Otto was raised in a suburb outside Cincinnati, Ohio, the oldest of 3 siblings. In high school, he was popular, athletic, and smart. At both prom and homecoming, he was crowned king. Speaking at his high school graduation, he quoted Andy Bernard from The Office.
I wish there was a way to know that you're in the good old days before you've actually left them.
Now, he's majoring in finance. Halfway through his junior year, he decides to do a winter break adventure to North Korea. It makes sense. He'll be studying abroad in Hong Kong in the spring. In 2015, the State Department's travel advisory for North Korea is clear. It recommends against Americans traveling there at all. On the other hand, the website of Young Pioneer Tours, Otto Warmbier's travel agency, said that traveling to North Korea was, quote, extremely safe. The tour operator specializes in taking...
Yo, that's literally cap. Like, if you, even in 2015, if you landed in North Korea and you just went, fuck Kim Jong-un, arrested.
You to destinations your mother would rather you stay away from.
Kim Jong-un is both fat and stupid. Arrested. Dead.
Parents had their concerns. But, as Cindy Warmbier later said, why would you say no to a kid like this? Early in the tour, the group is visiting this ship, the USS Pueblo. The North Korean military captured it.
I'm not suicidal.
In 1968. The North Koreans claimed it had entered their territorial waters.
I gotta rewind.
Captured it in 1968. The North Koreans claimed it had...
When the director uses real bullets.
This is Alexei Kravchenko. He's 14 years old, and he's also not an actor. This is his first time on a film set. And this is not CGI. These are real bullets that are flying above his head. And these are real explosions that they're running from. And this is not a film set.
How the f did they get permission to make this movie? They got this kid to agree to this? What are they doing? One take? Hey, make sure you actually don't stand up, by the way. You actually will die. I think I was going to watch... What's the name of this movie? Because I remember seeing this kid. This is a World War II movie. I feel like I was going to watch this. This is definitely on my watch list.
With real deadly parasites. This is a film unlike anything you've ever seen. Spielberg reportedly screened it before the making of Schindler's List, and Tarantino described it as the greatest World War II movie ever made. And what's even more insane is the story of how they made it. Very few people wanted this film to exist. It took nearly a decade and a very, very specific moment in history. This is Come and See.
Wait, it took a decade to make the film?
Chapter 1, The Brutality of War. Belarus, it's 1943. This innocent boy has just found something that will change his life forever. His name is Floria, and he's just dug up a weapon from a dead soldier. Little does he know, he's about to witness some of the most horrific things ever done to humanity.
Oh my god, I thought he was gonna like accidentally shoot his friend. Holy f
things ever done.
Just holding the gun so casually.
To humanity. We follow him as he goes from extremely eager to join the war to being harshly affected by it, and finally having the strong will to end it. The film then builds to a systematic massacre of an entire village. Civilians are herded into a barn based off actual accounts. The doors are barred and the building is set on fire. And quite famously, the film includes these direct shots into the actor's face, where there's no escape from their misery. But Come and See is not like other war films. We don't follow a superheroic soldier or see any of the famous battles. Instead,
you're following a regular ass kid that lived through that time.
The film takes place within villages and families and children. And the film does not revolve around heroics, but the idea of human suffering and what war does to innocent people. It is equally horrifying every single time you see it. Yet at the same time, it's such a cinematic masterpiece. Everything in this movie brings you to full immersion in a way that modern cinema hasn't been able to quite replicate. And the story of how they made the film is just as interesting, if not more interesting, as the film itself. Chapter 2.
It's weird that it's a horror war film. I feel like this movie would make you cry. And I love a movie that can do that. I think those are not the best films, because like in my top 5 movies, none of them would be sad films. But I think a movie that can make you cry is probably the best film. That one of the best films you'll see. If like mid-film you're like actually bawling, like they genuinely moved you. Because for you to cry in a film, you have to actually believe the reality of it. And yes, this is based off actual accounts, so it's not really necessarily a documentary, but it's like taking off real world actions and things that occurred. But like when they rope you into a film to the point where you're so engrossed into them and the character that you cry when bad things happen, my God, that's cinematic master. That's the meme. Cinema.
There are 3 people that contributed most to this film that I think we should go over. First, let's discuss Elem Klimov, the director of the film. He was born in 1933 in Stalingrad, in what was then the Soviet Union. From an early age, he would experience the horrors of war which he would use later in Come and See. During one of the city's most devastating battles, he, his mother, and his baby brother were forced to flee via raft through a burning river into the mountains. The city was ablaze up to the top of the sky. The river was also burning. It was night. Bombs were exploding, and mothers were covering their children with whatever bedding they had, and then they would lie on top of them. As a young boy, I had been in hell. This experience through hell would live with Klimov forever. Yet despite these beginnings, he eventually found his way into film. He started his career with comedies and satires. Nearly every film that he's made has faced some form of interference, delays, or even bans from the Soviet authorities. Yet despite the censorships, he would go on to make these types of films, until 1979, when something terrible happened. His wife, Larissa Shepitko, also an acclaimed filmmaker, had died in a car accident. And to say that her death had devastated Klimov is a gross understatement. Shortly after her death, he fell into a deep depression, turned to alcohol, and created a 25-minute documentary honoring her legacy. And even more notably,
well, we talked about this previously too. When men lose their wives, they're much worse off statistically than women losing their husbands. Because when you think about it, who, as a man generally, the only people that truly interact with you on a deep level are your mom and your wife, sometimes a friend. But I'm saying men don't really open up to other men. They don't really have deep conversations with other men. And so it's a lot harder to lose that person when you have so few of those people. Women are not always, and I'm not saying this is applicable to all men and all women, but women generally can fall back on other women a lot easier than men can, because you don't have that stronger relationships with men. Women usually, at least from what I've seen, women tend to have a lot closer bonds than men do. And I'm not saying that men aren't friends or close friends with each other, but a lot of that shit doesn't get real deep, right? Guys get real deep when they get drunk, right? And you're like, man, I really love you, bro. You're like, you truly care about me, and I really fuck with that. You don't have that sober conversation with another male friend. Usually. You do at times, but most of those things, it's like you're drunk and you're like, I love you. Women will just have those conversations and talk about deep things, right? And guys will do that with their mom. Guys will do that with their wife, right? So it's like, that is horrible. He already lived a terrible life, and now he has to fucking lose his wife on top of that. And what, did that motivate him to make this film?
he never made another comedy again. All of his subsequent...
Wow. That's got to be that really hurt him then. Because I feel like people use comedy a lot of the time to get out of shitty situations and perceive shitty things in a better light. Like, a lot of the time you use jokes and comedy about fucked up things that happen to you because it makes you feel better about them. Yeah, it's a coping mechanism, making things funny. That's why, not all comedians, but, the people that you would deem as most funny in your life, a lot of the time went through shit. Because, top-tier comedians have to willingly joke about the stuff they went through.
Were repeatedly blocking his project, but he refused to compromise, and he knew the film was too important, that if he were to make it, it had to be done right. Finally, in 1985, something incredible happened. This is Hatyn. It is a bone-chilling recount of the Hatyn massacre, a massacre in which the Nazis locked an entire village into a barn and then set the barn on fire, with half of the inhabitants being children. The occupation of Belarus was one of the most brutal campaigns of World War II. Over 600 villages met the same fate. The book was formed from a collection of testimonies from those who somehow survived. This is the writer, Ales Adamovich. In June 1941, when the war came to Belarus, he was just 13 years old. After the war, Adamovich became a writer. Him and his co-authors would travel across Belarus, collecting real survivor testimonies. He ended up co-writing the novel Hatin, which would become one of the primary sources for Come and See. Several directors were pitched to adapt his stories, but Adamovich refused them all. He insisted that there was only one director who could do the material justice. Together, they would create something that didn't glorify war or turn it into an adventure story, but showed as it truly was. But even with Adamovich and Klimov's clear vision, the film remained censored for years until 1985, when the 40th anniversary of Victory Day finally gave them the opening they needed. They had the green light, but they still needed one more piece: the boy. Alexei Kravchenko was not an actor. In fact, he didn't care about the film world at all. He had only showed up to the audition to support his friend, who wanted the lead role. Kravchenko went along for moral support, nothing more. And it turns out he ended up being chosen. To prepare Kravchenko for the role, Klimov...
But why did they pick this kid that had no interest in acting to play a very gritty, sad role in basically an adaptation of an actual historical event?
Put him on a strict hunger diet for days at a time.
Smash or pass, hear me out edition. Surely this is going to be a banger, right?
Welcome to a new video. Let's play Smash or Pass with the
Yup.
Hear Me Out characters from our
Oh, is that an AI voice? Ew.
viewers. There are some interesting ones. Let's go. Would you smash?
Smash. Smash. Nick Wilde, smash.
Smash or would you pass?
Smash. Hunk. Smash. It's not even close. Are you kidding me? That's not a Hear Me Out edition. Like, you're Zootopia? That's like the most...
about this
Smash. Smash. Smash of the Bird, too. Are you kidding me? Mufasa? Mufasa? King of the Jungle? Giving you too much time to think.
What will you choose
Pass. Roderick Heffley? No. No. Badass? Pass. Cool guy? Pass. You might be gay for saying that I wanted to Mufasa, the coolest guy in town, the main character.
Smash or
Toothless? Pass.
Smash.
I do love Toothless. Toothless would be like the Mary in a Mary Kill. Like I'm not fucking Toothless. I would love to like, you know, marry Toothless in like a platonic way. Like he's like a pet. Yeah, it's not like, I don't know, like Nick Wilde, yeah, it's a fox, but it's like he's like an anthropomorphic fox. Toothless is just like a dragon.
What's your choice?
Ooh, Barry B. Benson? Pass. You're smashing Barry B. Benson. Barry B. Benson is the most annoying fucking guy in the world. Why is it all guys? I don't know.
How about...
Oh my God, smash. Mr. Clean? Are you fucking kidding me, dude? The earring? I used to think that Mr. Clean was Howie Mandel from Deal or No Deal. And let me tell you, bro, Howie Mandel during the Deal or No Deal days, smash. Smash. Are you fucking kidding me? Clean, bald head. He had those gold earrings and that goatee, or that like weird like beard like stash he had. I'm smashing Mr. Clean. Mr. Clean's awesome. What are you fucking... Dude, that's like... Mr. Clean's like a jacked guy.
Would you smash...
Chat GPT. Pass. Are you fucking kidding me? What, the app or the AI? Like, what is the question here? The app. How do you even do that? Remy the Rat? Why are they all men? Why is it all guys right now? Wait, what is happening? Remy the Rat? Could he control me? Like, could it be like a third person type of thing? Like, he's in my hair and I'm wearing a hat? Like, Remy's a rat. I don't know.
This one.
Pass. Pass under the guise that it's just him. But if he's allowed to, like, be there, Remy can take the reins.
What will you choose here?
Bullet Bill from Mario Kart. He's kind of shaped like a butt plug. I'm gonna pass.
Smash or...
Pass. Judge Judy. Oh, God. Pass. Pass. Give me another Mr. Clean here, dude.
Pass. What's the hear me out on Judge Judy?
What's your choice?
Smash. Eve from Wall-E. Bro, I'd be like Wall-E in that shit. Smash. Eve is awesome. Eve is awesome and also like the coolest robot in the universe, in that world. Childhood Clippy. Ooh. This is a hard one. I don't think I'm fucking Clippy. I think I'm gonna pass. How would that even work? How would that even work? He's a paperclip. I'm gonna pass on Clippy.
Would you smash?
Smash. Gloria from Madagascar. I had a crush on Gloria from Madagascar. Are you kidding me? Remember that Moto scene? I like 'em big. I like 'em chunky. Yo, that guy was badass too. Gloria from Madagascar was like the coolest person ever. Does she have to remain a hippo though? Does she have to remain a hippo? Play the scene? No.
How about this?
Oh, fuck no. The Cheshire Cat's getting a pass. Cheshire Cat's getting 100% pass on this one. Dude, that creepy-ass smile. Oh, fuck no, dude. That's actually terrifying. He does have a nice voice, though. Doesn't the Cheshire... What does the Cheshire Cat sound like? Doesn't the Cheshire Cat have, like, a smooth voice? Cheshire Cat. Hey. That's what he sounds like, right? Cheshire Cat voice.
Better have a look.
Oh, he does. Oh, no, but look at his fucking face, chat. That's terrifying. Look at him. And he's always like like 3 fucking inches away from your face. No. Mr. Mosby? Mr. Mosby? Pass. They're coming up with some creative ones. I didn't think Mr. Mosby would be on this list. Smash. Are you fucking kidding me? Green M&M? Before or after the sexy boots?
Or pass?
Before or after the sexy boots? Is this pre or post woke green M&M? Is this Tucker Carlson green M&M? I think it's the green M&M in the image. Pre-nerf?
What's your choice?
Megamind? Pass. Is it blue? Smash.
How about Winona Ryder in
Pass.
Beetlejuice?
Pass. Probably smells bad too. Pass. Gross. Pass.
Would you smash or
Pass.
would you pass?
Any character from Phineas and Ferb is a hard pass. Hard pass. For multiple reasons.
How about this one?
Pat the handy hammer. Handy bandy hammer. Pat. Pass. I feel like I'm passing on a lot of these.
What will you choose?
Blue's Clues, but Steve from Blue's Clues. Pass. God, man. Why Smash? So many people are saying Smash. The dog? No. Steve, the guy. I feel like that's bestiality if you say Smash to the dog, bruh. It's different with the hippo, like Gloria, because she's an anthropomorphic hippo, and she's like human, like she is like a human consciousness. I feel like if you're saying like Smash with the Blue's Clues dog, bro, the Mufasa talks. Doesn't Mufasa talk? He speaks. Or just Smash. Lola?
Smash or pass?
I'm gonna go pass.
What's your
Smash.
choice?
Mr. Anderson, Smash. Tell him to shave that fucking mustache, though. Jesus. I actually have never seen Inside Out. 1 or 2.
How about Hannibal Lecter?
Oh, okay, so a serial killer. Who's saying Smash? What is the hear me out on Hannibal Lecter? I mean, he's in a fucking straitjacket and he kills people. Like, what? Why are people saying Smash? What is the Smash? What is the Smash? He's a fucking... Oh, he's a serial killer. Hannibal fucking Lecter. That's probably the biggest pass of the century, dude. Are you kidding me?
Would you
Smash. Guido. Fastest hands in cars. Fastest hands in the entire film, dude. He changes tires better than anybody. That's an immediately.
How about this
Smash.
one?
Smash. Smash. I had a crush on the dragon from Shrek when I was a kid. I remember being like, damn, Donkey got it good. It's kind of a legacy Smash, but I think I'm going to go pass off of the fact that I look up to him too much. Am I smashing prime Bill Nye the Science Guy or current Bill Nye the Science Guy? I think I'm going to pass either way.
Write your hear me outs in the comments so we can...
Oh, gosh. Wait, I kind of want to read some of these. Lego Batman Smash. Johnny Depp as the Mad Hatter. Pass. Not even close. Wolf from the Bad Guys movie. Smash. The Slenderman. Pass. Demogorgon. Pass. Bambi's dad. Don't remember what Bambi's dad looks like. I'm going to go pass. Pyramid Head from Silent Hill 2. That's a smash. Magma Cube from Minecraft. Ooh. Pass. Smash. Pass on the Ghast. Handsome Squidward, that's a pass. Optimus Prime, I think any of the Transformers, really. It's metal, though.
Feature them in one of our upcoming videos. We're excited and can't wait to see your unique Hear Me Outs.
Fuck out of here. Johnny from Sing. I hate every character from Sing. I wish they would all die. Pass. Hate every character from Sing. They're so annoying. That movie sucks. Baymax, that's a smash.
What's your choice?
Larry the Lobster. Ooh. Bit of a looks maxer, you know, but he does skip leg day. He's really all in the fists more than anything. The arms aren't really there. I think I'm gonna pass on Larry the Lobster. I don't think I'm gonna hit Larry the Lobster there.
How about Robin Williams as Teddy Roosevelt?
The smash. The smash. 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 Yeah. Robin Williams as Theodore Roosevelt's definitely a smash. I think even regular Teddy Roosevelt. Is Teddy Roosevelt the one that gave a speech when he got shot in the chest? I mean, that's just fucking badass. And now it's Robin Williams, too.
Would you smash or would you pass?
Isn't she venomous? Pass. Wouldn't that kill you?
How about this one?
What the fuck is this? Jungle's Clog? What is that? Is that a teddy bear from IKEA? Pass. What is that?
What will you choose here?
Maleficent. Smash. Maleficent? That's not really...
Smash or pass?
Yo, Simon from Alvin and the Chipmunks. Pass. The most traumatizing image everybody's seen is the who gets the best head image, and I hate that. Traumatizing. Everybody's seen that shit. Skip that one. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Kaonashi?
It's your choice.
Pass.
How about King Julian?
You would have a lot of aura, but King Julian's really annoying. I kind of like that big fuck that's like his servant, not the little like flying squirrel motherfucker. Who's the big guy from what's his name? You know what I'm talking about. Maurice? Is it Maurice? Maurice from what's the name of the fucking movie? Madagascar. Is it Maurice? Yeah, I'd smash Maurice. Maurice is pretty badass. What's the other fuck? See, now that's why I don't like that. King Julian's a no-go. And then also he's going to have that little, like, annoying fucker there the entire time. Mort. Oh, God.
Would you smash or would you pass?
Mr. Bean's a pass. I think Mr. Bean's a big pass. And he wouldn't speak. This would actually be more scary than Hannibal Lecter. I think Mr. Bean staring at you like that and making those weird faces, and he would do like an act-out mime thing. That would be really creepy. It would be so much worse.
How about this one?
Emily from Corpse Bride. She's a dead body. Pass.
What will you choose here?
Arthur's dad? Oh, shit. Pass.
Smash or pass?
Smash. Maximus, craziest horse in the fucking movie, dude. But he doesn't speak. Pass. It's like he's like
What's
an animal.
Your choice?
The pepper robot. This is like a waitressing robot or like a waiter robot. Pass. I feel like I'd pass on most of them.
How about Flounder?
The Flounder from My Little Mermaid's also a pass. And even more so for the live action because both of them are fucking creepy.
Would you smash?
I'm
or
smashing
would you
Stuart.
pass?
I'm smashing Stuart Little.
How
This is
about
getting
this
boring.
one?
The Vine app. What the fuck? Smash.
What's your choice?
Oh, here we go. Yeah, I mean, dude, Handsome Squidward doesn't have the nose problem that regular Squidward does. I don't know. I feel like this is a pretty hard choice. I think I'm going to go no, though. Handsome Squidward's not really that handsome. He just has, like, a strong jaw structure. He's the Holy Grail.
How about Oscar the Grouch?
Oscar the Grouch literally lives in the trash. Smash.
Smash or pass?
Pac-Man Ghost. Miss Pac-Man's a smash. Pac-Man Ghost is a pass.
What's your choice?
Smash. Interdimensional being, basically a god. Cat in a Hat could effectively kill, like, anything. Like, he literally has, like, superpowers better than most Avengers. He can spawn things out of thin air. He's chaos, effectively. That was the last one. Wow, that was really interesting. That was fun. Oh, God, they have another one. Let's crank through these real quick. We're just going to skip around. Crush from Finding Nemo is a smash. Circle Guard's a smash. Scar's a smash. Judy's a smash. Tafiti is a smash. Lord Farquaad's a pass. Bambi's father, definitely a smash. Mad Hatter, pass. 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 Smash. 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 Pass. Smash. Smash. Pass. Smash. Pass on Benson. Pass. Pass. Smash. 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 Pass. Smash. Smash. Jason Voorhees, pass. With or without the mask. If he keeps the mask on, smash. If he takes it off, pass. King Triton, smash. Pass. 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 Hey, just for the game, people, stop including, like, Phineas. Phineas, get that out of there. Right? Stella's a smash.
What will you choose here?
Nosferatu, pass. Like, what? What? Toy Chica, pass. Peter Malark. Peter Malark from Hunger Games or from Mockingjay? Because Peter Malark from the original Hunger Games, a bit more... I would say prime Peter Malark was Catching Fire Peter Malark. Can we agree on that? I think, like, Josh Hutcherson in Catching Fire, he was, like, a hardened badass. Whereas the first one, he's kind of a chud, and he's also insane in the third one. So I think it depends on the film. Demi Gorgon's a pass. Blue from Rio's a pass. 2D's a pass. Roger Rabbit's a pass. JJ from Outer Banks a pass. Diego's a pass. Pyramid Head's a smash. Shrek's pass. Bruno's a pass. Ghost from Call of Duty's a smash. The fucking Bill Cipher, evil god from Gravity Falls, smash. Villagers from Minecraft, depends what job they have. Thanos, smash. And yeah, that's it. All right, well, that was fun. All right, let's get into the next video. Failed end of the world predictions. Papa Meat.
I don't want to set the world.
The recent one on TikTok. What do you think those people are doing now? If you don't know about that, there was a lot of people on TikTok recently that were selling their homes and cars and giving away all their items, putting their kids up for adoption. Not a lot. It was probably like 100 people. But there were people that definitively tried to get, like, rid of all their goods for the rapture. Because they believed that the world was ending and the devil or demons were going to take over Earth and they were going to be sucked into heaven. And there were, like, rapture tip videos on how you should stand outside so you don't get stuck on your ceiling, which I thought was kind of stupid because if you were getting raptured, you would think that God would just be able to morph you through the wall. But a lot of people were seemingly worried that there would be something blocking their headspace and they would be kind of stuck to the ceiling like you're in one of those UFO carnival rides. And God would be trying to rapture you, but he would give up because your drywall was blocking you.
Welcome back to the Papa Beat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Coming in and sitting down because today we're gonna
roofs are rapture proof.
Talk about end of the world predictions throughout time. There has always been the prevalent belief that we are living in the end times, right? We are always living in the end times, whether it's natural disasters, nationwide pandemics, or something based on religious scripture. It's always a looming fear that hangs upon many people's heads. People have predicted when the world will...
I do kind of wish... Whoa. I do kind of wish that, sorry, that, I lost my train of thought there. There was a lot of, okay. Anyways, I kind of wish that I was around, well, I was around, but not 10. I was 10 years old during the 2012 apocalypse. Anybody remember that? Like, I didn't hear about that shit until way later. I kind of wish that I was able to experience in my current conscious form the mass hysteria
that was the 2012 apocalypse, where a lot of people full believed that the world was going to end in 2012.
Meet its end even as far back as the first millennium. These predictions often resulted in a mass hysteria, with believers going to great lengths to prepare themselves physically and emotionally for their fine.
I love Doomsday Preppers, though. That show's awesome. My favorite part is the first 5-second intro. My name's Dale, and I'm getting ready for a fucking sun flare. There's a lot of realistic ones like that. And then it'll be like, my name's... I don't know why I'm always doing like a brutish Southern male, but my name's John, and I'm getting ready for the zombie apocalypse. Okay, pal. He himself is also working on the rabies offshoot that he wants to unleash to the public because he wants the zombie apocalypse to happen a little too much.
All day. The most recent iteration of this endlessly recurring phenomenon can be found on TikTok, taking shape in a specific community known as Christian Talk.
A very small subsection of Christian Talk, though. Like the majority of it was like 99.9% of Christians on Christian Talk were like, guys, the rapture's not happening tomorrow. Guys, this is a little unreal.
The only God, the white Christian God. Jesus, blonde hair, blonde mullet, blue eyes, flip-flops, and a Dale Earnhardt tattoo. The Intimidator. Recently, there has been a ton of Christians on TikTok freaking out about the rapture that was set to take place on September 23rd and 24th. That was rapture talk grew as...
Bro, what I hate about this is, say at some point, it's in our lives, we have like, what was that movie with the meteor with Leonardo DiCaprio? And the meteor was going to hit Earth, and like nobody believed it initially. It will straight up be Don't Look Up. If we have a Don't Look Up scenario where like a meteor is hauling towards Earth and we're all going to die, I will be so viscerally upset. Number one, that Earth's going to explode. But more so, the amount of people that would be like, this is it. This is the sitting there acting like they got that shit right. Like every time there's some drama shit, bro, somebody being like, yeah, I could have predicted this from the start. I've been saying this the whole time. Yeah, there would be a few dickheads that would be like, I actually knew the meteor was going to hit. This was God's plan for me all along. He told me when I was 12. Okay.
The movement spread and became more popular. Thousands of people were posting about how they fully believe.
Oh no, get ready, the king is coming. So excited. 9/23/24. Also, aren't you not supposed to know if you're going to heaven or hell? Like, isn't that saying if you're like, yeah, I'm getting raptured. Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting raptured. You're not. Get ready, because this is going to be really exciting. Like, that's kind of like narcissistic that you're outwardly saying that you're definitively getting raptured because you're such a good boy. Like, yes, you believe in God, but even accepting Jesus as your Lord and Savior, you should always be like on edge. Based on how I've learned about Christianity my entire life, is that like nobody's ever 100% safe. Unless you're literally declared a saint in the Catholic Church long after you die.
That the end times were coming. Some were overjoyed, while others were stricken with intense grief. Oh God, we're gonna die. It's a bummer. This all began when South African pastor Joshua Mikela claimed to have...
Wrong? Really? How? How are you... You're supposed to know definitively that you're going to heaven? There should always be some level of unease. No? Correct me if I'm wrong, genuinely.
A vision of Jesus telling him of his return to earth. According to Josh, he saw Jesus on a throne telling him, I am coming soon.
I am coming
soon. Jesus then told him dates of his arrival, which were 2 weeks out.
Bro doing a podcast with a bare brick in the motherfucking back telling me that the rapture's coming on October 20, or not October, September.
From his vision. A clip of an interview with Josh talking about his vision blew up and started the whole craze. But no one could have predicted the mass hysteria that would follow. It was pretty shocking. Right out of the gate, people began to post videos of themselves preparing their houses for the people left behind.
If you're seeing this and you're still here, I'm so sorry that you didn't make it. At least you're here getting to do all the sins that you wanted to do. And
the guy that bought her car for $1 the day after the rapture when she comes back asking for it back. The guy that's actively in a fucking U-Haul moving into her house when she walks back to her house. Ah, sorry.
Be naughty with your fellow sinners. I don't know. Maybe you can make the best out of it. But yeah, goodbye.
Bro, like, what are those people doing right now? Like, I want to know so bad. They're out. Do you think they just moved? Like, do you think they've moved past that? Have to have. But there's no way. Like, there's no way your entire being believes that the world's going to end, and then a month later, you're not in shambles. Like, I feel like you would be distraught for like a year if you fully felt that the world was definitively going to end.
Yeah, if anybody's here after the...
But they're like, it's not, honestly, it's not even like they've been misled. It's like a level of like mental instability, bro. Like that's, like it's not like, oh, you're just like hyper religious. No, it's like you're like falling for a podcast clip of a fucking pastor saying that he saw a vision the world's gonna end.
Rapture, because my ass is going up. I got a jacuzzi back there. Feel free to use it, bozo. One woman stocked up on candles and Bibles, as well as leaving behind laminated note cards of script.
Why are you stocking up on Bibles? The world's ending. You're getting sucked into the sky in a blue beam of light. What the fuck?
Bibles.
Oh, is she handing these out to people? Jesus loves you. If this woman handed me a fucking Bible that said Jesus loved you, and then I didn't get raptured, and earth was set on blaze, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, what the fuck is this doing for me? I'm dead.
As well as leaving behind laminated note.
What did that say? It's not you?
As well as leaving behind laminated note.
It's not too late. I gotta read that.
And laminated.
It's not too late to take this Bible. Find other believers. Be careful who you trust. Do not take the mark in hand or forehead. Huh?
Note cards of scripture.
Where did everybody go? Many people vanished because they believe in Jesus Christ, Son of God. And in something, take them to heaven. This is God to save those who trust him.
For the sinners who she believed would enter
Oh my God, this
home.
is like so reminding me of when I left the gym one day and some dude shoved a fucking card in my door and I read it in my car and he was claiming to be Jesus Christ in the flesh. And he was asking for, like, help in his search to create his own new, like, subsect of... I've told you guys this story. This was, like, a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. I left the gym, and there was a dude that shoved, like, a pamphlet in my fucking car door. And I read it, and he literally was claiming to be the reincarnation of Jesus Christ. Like, he was... I wish I kept it. I threw it out, and it was, like... full-blown religious psychosis. It was the craziest thing I've ever read from, like, a random guy.
Probably fornicate with each other, because what else are they going to do with hell on earth?
It's true. No rules.
Did you get an autograph? No, I didn't see the dude. It was just in my door.
Like Jesus said,
I am going to come in 2 weeks, and I'm going to take all of the sinners and leave them.
Do you think he meant the other come?
Yeah, what if that was the thing? What if Joshua was right and he was like,
Hey, by the way, Joshua, I'm going to come in 2 weeks. I cannot wait for that day.
Jesus, what?
Whoa! Other believers began quitting their jobs, selling their cars, and rumors spread that some people were even selling their homes. According to one user online, her psychiatrist permanently closed her practice because she fully believed that the rapture was coming. A psychiatrist. She completely abandoned her patients and began posting TikToks about her excitement for...
I think you probably shouldn't be going to that psychiatrist to begin with, but I think that's honestly a good thing. I think... if you have a psychiatrist and she shuts down her business because she fully believes the rapture is coming, I think Honestly, you've probably done yourself a solid to find another psychiatrist.
The end times. Her patients were left in disbelief and shared her videos showing how insane she looked for abandoning her decade-long practice and for posting about TikTok.
Thank you, Rapture Talk, for making me get rid of everything they own for free.
The 14-year-old would only drink water and run long.
They made him starve himself. Oh my God, to make it look like he was like in a famine, like just fully like thinning himself.
Distances to lose weight. Klimov was also deeply concerned about the potential psychological toll the film would take.
Oh my God. Well, because they were making him like method act almost too. Like not even just lose the weight to fit the, I guess, physical sense of the role, but also like make him feel and look exhausted constantly.
Being hell on earth. From the very start, Klimov had one guiding principle: tell the truth. Klimov's goal was to capture as much realism as possible. Each member of the cast and crew felt a huge responsibility to those who had died. As Klimov said, "I have the will to tell the story for truth, even if it takes 9 months to make the movie, and even if..."
Well, that's what sucks about a lot of American like war films is we like broadcast ourselves as the heroes and the victims a lot of the time when we're the ones that are like actively just fucking killing innocent people. Like, not in every instance. I'm not saying like World War II films, but like every Vietnam film is like, not everyone, but a lot of Vietnam War films, it's like, oh, dude, they make you feel for the Americans. When it's like, yeah, we are Americans, obviously, you're going to have some sort of feeling for them, but it's like, they're not, they kind of like overshadow the fact that like we were just like effectively murdering innocent Vietnamese people in like regular ass situation. Not even like not even just like, hey, we're sending you to war because you have to fight these people. They would just like kill innocent fucking families in Vietnam.
If no one watches it. The production designer Viktor Petrov initially tried using pyrotechnics for the explosions. But when Klimov saw the results, he wasn't satisfied. The explosions didn't sound real, they didn't feel real. So Klimov made the ultimate decision that would shock everyone: to use real explosives and live ammunition. This created an atmosphere of real terror among the actors. In one scene, Kravchenko—
Real terror among the actors, bro, but they could have died.
—and a cow were placed in the middle of a field while live rounds were fired around them. Kravchenko was so terrified that he found himself clinging to Klimov after, asking, "Is there anything else?" Klimov told him to go back into the scene. The entirety of the film was shot on location in Belarus. Everything was real. Even the extras, the villagers, were real survivors or descendants of survivors from the Belarusian fire villages.
That's awesome.
To prepare the villagers, Ales Adamovich gathered them in a circle and read chapters from his book. He recounted the testimonies of those who had survived the horrors of war. Many of the villagers had heard stories from their parents or grandparents. Some had survived the war as children. The entire crew was under constant stress. But as the production designer later said, all the hardships helped us. Everyone was under constant strain, and it had a powerful effect on the crew. God himself was helpful to us, for the fog not lifting.
Dude, it fucking blows, man. Ugh. Oh, this is making me sad. This is making me sad. Stop.
For the special effects to work, for the crowd scenes with the locals and army personnel to work in harmony. Chapter 4. Truth.
It's horrible that humans are like the biggest threat to ourselves. Like, obviously, we're all going to die one day, but like all of the horrible things that happen to humans, yes, there's natural disasters. Yes, there's disease. But like most things that you cite historically, it's like, yeah, other humans effectively murdering, torturing, and committing genocide against other people.
And yet, despite all this gore and destruction,
I just wonder how like they showcase like utter shock so well.
This is Roger Deakins, widely considered to be the greatest cinematographer.
I never understand how movie actors do that. Like fully get into the brain and mindset of somebody living in that instance.
Of all time. And he's labeled Come and See as mandatory viewing.
Conrad O used to say he was really trying to create beauty with ugliness. You know, he wanted to make ugly films that were beautiful, which seems a total contradiction. But, you know, how do you film something that is so brutal but engage the audience with it? That's the key to the film, in a way, that the horror is something you imagine right until the end, when obviously you see the real footage, and then Klimov is basically saying, I could have shown you something much worse.
After screening in East Germany, a former soldier who had been stationed in Belarus approached Klimov and said, "Everything you showed is true, but I tried to forget about it and never told anyone. Now, when my children see this film, I don't know what to tell them." And for some reason, even decades later, the film seems more relevant than ever before. As the writer Joseph Brodsky once said, in a real tragedy, it is not the hero who perishes, it is the chorus.
Like that, dude, that is, like, this kid's 14, and they made him look so disheveled. Like, he looks like an old man. They do that so well.
Thank you for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon.
I understand why they chose him, because I feel like he fits the role very well, but it's weird how, like, he's not even an actor, and they were like, nah, we need this kid to be the main actor for this. Director decided that trauma needed to go to another generation when casting the lead. No one wasn't harmed in the making of this movie. Half expected you saying this man isn't acting, he was really shot and killed. Why isn't there a hero? I don't glorify war. Damn. There are a few war movies that do that well, though, outside of that. But there are a lot where it's like Inglourious Bastards is one of my favorite movies. But it's not like, I don't want to say it's not accurate. It's a fucking Quentin Tarantino film, you know? Like, it's not a true, like, war movie. You know what I mean? Like, there's war movies that are, like, for entertainment, but also have, like, showing a purpose. But then there's war movies that are like that. And they're actually trying to show you, like, the gritty horrors of I guess, war in general. Hacksaw Ridge. I feel like I saw Hacksaw Ridge in, like, middle school. Yeah. He is a hero, though, in Hacksaw Ridge. Is he not?
Rule 1.
Wait, what?
Execution. Shin memorizes them all.
I think it's more insane to me, too. Like, even on the levels of, like, them having these concentration camps, like, killing an adult for fucking up a rule versus, like, a born-in-camp child, beating them to death in front of their fellow students because they stole 5 grains of fucking wheat.
Rule 1. Any witness to an attempted escape who fails to report it will be shot immediately.
Wow.
Rule 3. Anyone who steals or conceals any foodstuffs will be shot immediately. Rule 5. Anyone who holds or hides a fugitive's possessions, conspires with him, or fails to report him will be shot immediately. The guards enforce the rules without mercy.
내가 총을 꾸려서 뭐 쏘거나 해도
I didn't feel the slightest bit guilty, even though I killed so often there.
두기지 않았어. 일반적으로 우리는 그때 써도 나라를 지키.
We thought it was the right thing to do to protect our country. So are these people just brainwashed? Yeah, I didn't feel bad. I was killing 5-year-olds. They stole rice. They stole food. That's bad for the country. Yeah, because that one kid stealing 5 grains of fucking wheat's gonna topple down North Korea from the bottom up.
지키기 위해서 내가 한 일이기 때문에. 그 수용소에는.
It really does bring up that hard question of, like, are the soldiers responsible for things that the nation tells them to do? And I mean, that's ongoing today. It was in World War II with Germany. It was in Japan. It was in the US. It was everywhere, where it's like, you're being commanded to do this. While you're not entirely responsible, it's like, you're still making the wherewithal decision to be like, yeah, I'm going to, like, kill these kids.
들어오게 되면 사람이 아니에요. 사람이 아니고 내 마음대로 해도 돼요. 그 안에 사람은 사람이 아니에요. 사람이 아니고 내 마음대로 해도 돼요. 그 안에 사람은.
And that's what's fucked is it's like, I think there's like a line they cross where that's how they deal with it in the most fucked up way. It's because if you're seeing them as human, you don't, then your some level of morality inside of you kicks in. Where it's like these soldiers are like purposely perceiving these people as non-human, and then it doesn't matter what happens to them in their brain.
그 자리에서 죽이게 했으면 죽이고 살리게 했으면 살리고 하는 건 내 마음에 뭐 설명해 주세요.
And that's also just like power hungry shit. I think people feed off that. If you're like growing up a soldier, especially in North Korea, where you've also probably grown up in a pretty shitty life, now you're giving power over others, right? Where like the power that's been inflicted, it's like a very hyper evolved version of like what's happening to you inflict onto others. What did he say? He was saying he had the power to kill or not kill anybody. It was entirely up to him.
Across North Korea, there are different
Like he probably liked that.
types of detention facilities. The worst of them are called Kwanliso. Camp 14 is one of them. It's also called a total control zone.
People never get out of those. You know, they just waste away. They get killed by this vicious cycle of malnutrition and forced labor.
Shin's mother has to work the rice fields, 10 to 15 hours of hard labor every day. If she meets her quota,
15 hours straight?
She receives food, just enough to survive the night and make it through the next day.
North Korea is all about production targets. If you don't meet them, and probably you will not meet them, you'll get less food, more work, less food, more work, and that's how you waste away and die. That's, you know, the truly tragic story at these camps.
From the moment Shin starts school, his life is split between the classroom and hard labor in the coal mine. Long workdays are made worse by a constant gnawing hunger. Before school, Shin often eats his mother's portion while she's still out in the fields. She beats him for it, but he does it anyway. To him, she's not a source of love or care. She's a rival in the fight for every meager scrap of food.
Wow.
This is Shin's meal, served 3 times a day for his entire prison life. If he makes a mistake, his portion is cut in half as punishment. Sometimes he and the other inmates catch rats, the only source of meat in Camp 14. For Shin, this isn't as much as a nightmare. It's normal life. He has never seen the world beyond the barbed wire. Unlike this man. Kim Young is in his mid-40s when he's brought to Camp 14. He knows the world outside very well. In fact, he was a high-ranking military officer and vice president of a state-owned company. In his former life, he enjoyed culture, a chauffeur, and all the benefits of being a government employee. Now he's also forced to work in the coal mines. Kim didn't break any laws to get here. His parents...
That's what's fucked, because that's how dictatorships work, because you have to bend... You can't just be an all... You can't be an all-ruling dictator without people below you. And that's like, it's the rule. There's a video that I want to watch called The Rules of the Ruler as well, where it kind of dives into that. But it's like, if you're a dictator, you have to please all 4 people below you that run different areas of your government. And those 4 people have to please the 5 people below them, right? And at some point, you don't have to please people anymore because they just have to bend to your power. But you have to keep people in power happy, otherwise they will turn on you. So that's why Kim Jong-un never gets turned on, because he keeps the people right below him happy, because they lived a shitty life. He brought them out of it and said, hey, if you just follow my rules and do what I do, you'll have power, you'll have a chauffeur, you'll have a mansion, you'll have a nice wife, you'll have this and this and this and this and food and cigarettes and weed and fucking whatever the fuck they want, right? And they'll go, okay. And so they'll just do whatever he says.
Kim didn't break any laws to get here. His parents did. In North Korea, this form of collective punishment is called yunjoje.
Wow.
Guilt by association. Up to 3 generations can be punished for crimes of family members. When Kim was a child, his father and brother were accused of spying for the United States, enough to execute them. After that, Kim was brought to an orphanage under a new name. It took more than 40 years until someone found out about his true heritage. Even Kim himself wasn't aware of the supposed crimes his family allegedly committed.
And that's insane! He didn't even know! He didn't even know. Oh, sorry, no, now you're gonna fucking get stripped of everything.
There's absolutely no judicial process This is extrajudicial punishment. They'll just, take you away in the middle of the night, together with your family members. You just disappear. That's how it goes.
대낮에 잡아가는 건 없어요. 다 밤에 그냥 원래 그냥 어느 순간에 와서 싹 다 쓸어 가고.
Without the neighbors noticing. So one day you're just living your life like in whatever, if you're in the city in North Korea or wherever, and then the next day your neighbor just disappears. Wow, and then you just don't talk about it. And it's just like, but it's just unspoken. It's like, oh, he disappeared. We know where he is.
정치범 수용소에 가서도 그 가족들은 우리가 뭘 잘못해서 왔는지 그걸 모른다는 거죠.
Fear is the most powerful tool for prison guards to keep inmates in line. During Kim's time in Camp 14, a total of 25 inmates are executed. One day, he witnesses a fellow prisoner being killed for collecting chestnuts that had fallen from a tree. Kim's
chestnuts that had fallen from a tree. Were they even being used?
Spends most of his days underground. Hours and hours of endless work with no sunlight and no mercy. Kim struggles. He's never faced labor like this before. Mistakes are inevitable, and every one of them is met with the punishment of a guard who never leaves his side.
Do you think he had like an internal wow moment? Because he was a high-ranking military official, and then now he's being sent to where he probably had to send other people.
One day, a guard strikes Kim with the butt of his gun till he falls unconscious. For the next 2 days, he only receives half his meals. After more than 2 months of living like this in Camp 14, Kim decides to end it. Following a long day of work, he steps into the elevator of a mining shaft. The metal cage ascends until it reaches a height of around 2,000 feet. He pulls the safety pin, and the elevator falls. But Kim survives, and the vicious cycle goes on. When Shin is about 6 or 7, the camp's borders shift. His village is merged into the neighboring Camp 18, just across the river. It's said to be slightly less brutal than Camp 14, but for Shin, life hardly changes at all.
Oh, he got moved to a different camp over?
Shin is 15 and has moved out from his mother's home. He now lives with his father. One day, a teacher allows Shin to spend the night at his mother's house, a reward for good behavior. When he arrives, another guest awaits. It's his brother.
Wait, he got awarded for good behavior, but he tried to take his own life in an elevator. Did they just think it was an accident or something?
One day, a teacher allows Shin to spend the night at his mother's house, a reward for good behavior. When he arrives, another guest awaits.
Oh, it's the previous kid. It's when he grew up? This is him when he's older?
When he arrives, another guest awaits. It's his brother, Shin Hee-gyun. The 21-year-old works at the prison cement factory, a couple of miles away. Shin doesn't like him at all. In the middle of the night, Shin wakes up from his sleep. He hears voices from the kitchen. His brother is talking about escape. His mother seems to support him. Shin's first instinct, he has to report this.
Oh my god. Dude, having to rat on your own family, they'll die. Holy shit. Like, I was thinking it in the sense of like, oh, you just see some guy at like your work doing that. Like your own you would have to fucking snitch on your own family. And because, and it's not even snitch on them and like, oh, they'll just get punished. No, they're going to get shot in the head in front of you. And then you'll be like, not even really rewarded. It's just like, okay, you're not going to die.
He goes to a nearby dorm room and wakes a friend to ask for advice. The friend urges Shin to tell the guards. They go to the school's night guard on duty and report the escape plot.
Wow.
Shin also signs a false police statement, claiming he saw his mother and brother commit murder. This piece of evidence ultimately leads to an execution order.
Wait, so they had to fucking... Wait, what? So they have to fake that they committed a crime so they could kill him? I thought they were just able to kill him for conspiracy to run.
The guards take Shin to an execution site next to the Taedong River.
Why are they taking him there? I wouldn't want to go see that.
A crowd has gathered to watch. They drag out his mother and his brother. They're killed in front of Shin's eyes. In 1996, Kim Young is transferred to Camp 18. To him, this place feels like heaven. The labor conditions are slightly better, and to his surprise, he reunites with his 70-year-old mother, who is also a prisoner here. But the violence and abuse
70-year-old mother, I thought his mom just died.
don't stop. One day, he has to witness how guards beat up his mother and force her to do manual labor. His mother is certain they will both.
Oh, other guy. We keep bouncing back between people. Sorry, this is the dude that used to be a high-ranking military official.
Labor. His mother is certain they will both die in the camp. Even though it means risking his life, she urges Kim to leave her behind and escape. Escaping from a North Korean death camp is almost impossible.
These are highly protected facilities. You're talking barbed wire, walls, armed guards, intersecting lines of fire.
Well, it's not even just that. You're also extremely you're experiencing extreme malnutrition. And so you're weak. You can't run. You can't you're not going to be able to scale a fence very easily. You have no muscle.
We're talking machine guns. Very, very difficult to escape. It's, difficult to escape a detention facility in any civilized country. Imagine North Korea.
King Young quietly studies his surroundings. He observes, waits, and starts thinking. He lays out multiple escape plans, but none of them seem doable to him. Another hard day of work. The prisoners are loading coal onto a train. Suddenly, they spot something. Grain scattered across the bottom of a train car. It must have transported food before. The scene explodes into chaos. Prisoners drop everything, desperately looking for the tiniest speck of food.
What, are they going to eat it right there?
The guards start shouting, but no one listens. Kim discovers a narrow space beneath a metal panel in the floor of a coal wagon. He squeezes inside, and as the train rumbles out of Camp 18, he rides with it.
No way.
Hours later,
he got out because people were staring at grain so he didn't even plan this escape. He just on a whim just tried to get out. Is this based off a true story? This is a true story. This is basically the video version of an actual man's account that escaped North Korea and wrote a book about it.
Later, the train reaches Goan Station at around 4 a.m. We don't know exactly how, but Kim manages to crawl out of his hideout and disappears into the night.
But then what the fuck do you do? You know what I mean? I wouldn't know if I got out and now say you're in China. What do you do? Do you just go? You gotta go. You get a job. You have no ID. You're not a citizen, right? It's not even just it's not even oh, you're an illegal immigrant. It's you're not even on a record. No one knows who you are. I would have to find, you know what I would do? I would go to another, say I was in this scenario, I feel like I would try to go to a country I knew was enemies with North Korea, and I would go to I would try my hardest to find what is it called, where they have their own setup in different countries? What is it called? You know what I'm talking about. Embassy. I would go to the U.S. Embassy. And I would be I'm a North Korea escapee. I would go to some embassy because he was a soldier too, so he knows the countries that are enemies. I would go to the enemy of North Korea and be I escaped. Please, you don't speak English? I think they're going to put 2 and 2 together. If you are at a U.S. embassy in China and some dude runs in speaking Korean, clearly malnourished, beat to shit, you're probably going to be okay, calm down. I'm going to get a translator, right? Even if you don't speak, say you don't speak the language. I feel there's something that you'd be able to do.
Kim successfully escaped
I'm not even
Camp
just saying
18.
U.S. embassy, just any embassy that's not in association or partnered with North Korea.
But his path to freedom is still very long. After finding a worker's uniform, he changes clothes.
You want to know what an embassy is? Ooh, that's true. But you can't just walk up to a random guy in China and be I'm from North Korea, help me. You're not going to be able to speak to them, and it's what the fuck? They're just going to rat on you.
And starts a treacherous journey that will take him many months through China and
oh my god, he had to go all the way to Mongolia
to South Korea, where he'll eventually...
What? He had to make his way all the way to Mongolia so he could catch a flight to South Korea.
Seek asylum. Escaping a prison is one thing. Escaping the country is another. We made a whole video on how to escape North Korea. Link is in the description.
Yeah, we watched that video.
Shin also manages to escape from Camp 18 twice, both times by crawling under a fence. Both times he's recaptured. After a
I'm wondering why he wasn't killed if he was recaptured.
second attempt, Shin is sent back to Camp 14 and is thrown into a special detention center, a place with only one purpose: torture.
I still have the scars of my torture and the burns. Look at my arms. My arms aren't normal. They are bent and deformed. Before
His arm is like they snapped it.
I was tortured, my arms were straight. When I was tortured, my arms were tied up with a rope and pulled backwards. That made them more and more bent. I'm filled with anger when I stand in front of the mirror and look at my body after a shower.
After 4 weeks of torture, he's thrown into a pitch-black cell. No windows and barely enough space to lie down. There he'll spend the next 6 months. After his release, Shin is thrown back to the general prison population. He has to work in the coal mine, the farm fields, and eventually in a garment factory. This is where he meets Park Young-chul, a man unlike anyone Shin has ever seen. Born into an elite family, Park once held a prestigious job and had seen the world beyond North Korea's borders.
What? So he left North Korea?
By then, Shin already knows he's on the execution list. With Park at his side, he begins planning what will be Shin's third and final escape. Shin and Park are assigned to do some woodwork up in the mountains, along with some prisoners. They're chopping wood near the outer fence. The camp's fence is around 10 feet high. And
How many guards do you think they got for, like, a group of people? Because part of me's thinking, like, you could just rush those motherfuckers, you know?
lined with high-voltage barbed wire.
I feel like, bro, if you got a group of 10 people, they probably got, like, 3 guards. And they're all holding machine guns or rifles.
The next guard tower is a quarter of a mile away. Shin watches.
Some people would die. Yeah, well, realistically, they probably have enough guards to where all of them would die, so they can't revolt. But I'm thinking, like, if you had 2 guards and 10 people, you could realistically try, like, knowing 8 of you are going to die, but, like, 2 of you are going to be able to overpower them and live, and then you just steal their shit.
The patrols. There are long gaps between them where no guard is close enough to spot the two. The plan is simple. Wait until dusk so that their footprints can't easily be traced in the snow. They slip through the high-voltage wires without touching them.
Risky maneuver.
As the sun sets, Shin and Park move closer to the fence. They hack branches, pretending to stack wood. Nobody notices them. Park hesitates. Shin's heart races. He grabs Park's hand and they run. Shin slips. Park reaches the fence before him. He tries to squeeze his head between the 2 lowest wires and hits one of them. Park's body is not moving. The bottom wire bends under his weight, creating a narrow gap.
Oh my god, and you just leave him. Oh my god, you just leave him.
Shin crawls over Park's
You have to.
body. He's almost past the fence when his legs slip, hitting one of the wires. The voltage tears through him. His pants char. His skin burns from ankle to knee.
It's that fucking high a voltage. Did it kill him?
But somehow he makes it through.
No! Okay.
Park's body lies dead on the fence. Shin runs without looking back.
Oh, because he got hit in the head.
For 2 hours straight until he realizes that he made it. He manages to cross the river to China, and after a journey of almost 2 years, he finally reaches South Korea. These are all the prison camps that are most likely active in North Korea today. According to Greg Scarlatoiu,
Like right now. Like right now. I know time difference, like it's 7 p. Time difference, what time is it in North Korea? It's 8 a.m. There's people in North Korea right now in camps that are like doing slave labor. Right now. Like right now, there's probably thousands of people that are actively fucking doing crops, cutting wood, being beaten to death. Fuck, man.
The camps are changing, and not for the better. Camps near the border have reportedly been moved further inland, likely to make escape even harder. And some new internal perimeters have appeared, possibly to isolate high-value prisoners.
The third development in terms of infrastructure, evolution and development has been the creation of watchtowers and what appears to be intersecting lines of fire around the camps. They would be meant to basically exterminate those who attempt to leave those camps.
For some camps, evidence is even scarcer.
There's one camp that we know very little about, and that's Camp 16, 1-6. That's very close to the Punggye-ri nuclear testing facility. And I have spoken with the South Korean nuclear scientists who said, look, we don't believe that prisoners are used in digging those tunnels for the nuclear tests, but it is very likely that they will be, used and abused while cleaning up after those nuclear tests.
The
Oh my God, what? And then they're gonna like die of radiation.
HRNK estimates that up to
120,000 people in these camps.
people are currently held in North Korean prison camps. In fact, as a viewer of this video, you might know more about them than most North Koreans ever will.
We have to remember that these people are being tortured and maimed today. They were tortured and maimed yesterday, and the same will happen tomorrow. So, I think it's a matter of moral, ethical, religious, and political obligation to continue to maintain our interest in these issues.
This is Shin today. He gradually adjusted to a life in society and became a public speaker and advocate for human rights in North Korea. In 2015, Shin Dong-hyuk retracted parts of his story and admitted to changing certain key details in Escape from Camp 14. The book's author published a detailed statement outlining every change Shin had made. According to Shin, some memories were simply too painful and others too shameful to share truthfully at the time. This is
Wow. So it's not even like he made it seem worse. He made it seem better than it was. Like one of the edits it showed was that he hated his brother. And so it was easier for him to rat on him.
a common reaction for victims of torture, who often cope by suppressing or distorting their accounts of what really happened. Greg Scarlatoiu and others believe Shin's changes don't alter the fundamental truth of his reports.
Was Shin Dong-hyuk a political prisoner? Yes, 100%. Okay, he spent some time both at Camp 14 and Camp 18, right across the river. Did he witness the execution of his mother and brother? Yes, he did. So the fundamental elements of Shin Dong-hyuk's story did not change.
Shin bears the
Yeah, it's like small little additions to each part of the story.
scars, physical and psychological.
I just don't know how you could physically live a regular life after that. You know what I mean? Like they're very like advocative and they do public speaking work, but it's like always in the back of your mind, you're going to be like, people I knew are in that camp right now. Like you escaped and now you could live in South Korea, but it's like, there's over 100,000 people that are there still and they're just never going to get out. Wow. That's a sad video, but I'm glad we watched it. All right, count me down 30 seconds. Sean, I got to piss, then we're going to hop I only ate bricks for 7 days.
Hi, Cody. Hypothetically, if I took like my daily meal and then like put it all into a blender and then blended it up into a brick and then ate that brick for a week straight, would I survive?
So diet maxing, we're food efficiency maxing now. We're just going to blend everything we eat in a day and then only eat that. I mean, nutritionally, that would be perfectly fine, right? Who did that? Don't we know somebody that did that? I feel like there's a streamer that I know that tried to like diet max and ate like food blocks for like a week. And that's just gross to fucking, dude, because what meal could you blend up into a brick with like water
and it not be gross. I think you could do a brick of like protein powder and like fruits, and you could make something like a meatloafy brick that would be okay. But any regular meal, you're not blending up and that being good. Hamburger, well, now you're just saying already ground beef. Protein powder, fuck you, I stuttered.
And probably
I'm gonna die at 23. What would be the best one meal to blend? Like a chicken Caesar salad, maybe? No. I feel like a full meal of, if you blended like eggs, a meat, fruit and vegetables, and water, you would be fine. But you would, I don't think any combination of those things would be at all appetizing.
Eating is way too complicated. Imagine a world where everyone just ate one thing. No more thinking of meal prep, no more doing dishes or cooking. Now imagine bricks. Imagine if everyone just ate bricks instead of food. I'm imagining it right now. It feels so good. I'm getting so bricked up. For the next 7 days, I'm gonna be eating only bricks of food. But what do I put inside of that brick exactly? Well, how about I ask my...
That is fucking... I'm gonna ask ChatGPT. Hello, ChatGPT. I am diet maxing, and I would like to get all of my needed nutrition in a day in one brick of food, but I also don't want it to taste like poop. Any Rex? Question mark. Love the ambition. That's some next level biohacker / efficiency core energy right there. Crying emoji. If you're trying to get all your nutrition in one brick of food, basically a complete meal compression into a bar, you have a few good paths depending on your goals. Here's a breakdown. You could do the Huel Complete Nutrition Bar, good macros. Dude, they're just recommending fucking Soylent. Jimmy Joy Plenty Bar, Soylent squared in meal squares. Bro, if you want to make it yourself, here's a great formula. You need 150 grams of oats, 80 to 100 grams of whey isolate, 50 grams of peanut butter and flaxseed, multivitamin powder, honey, cocoa powder, vanilla, and cinnamon. That actually doesn't sound that bad. I don't think that's going to give you all of your nutrition in a day, though. Like, after a week, you would start having, like, fucking deficiencies in vitamins.
My best friend roommate who's studying to be a doctor.
There's something called, like, the perfect plate.
Are you FaceTiming someone right now?
Yeah.
Is this like...
Can I blend 4 cheeseburgers down? That's not even funny. I'm imagining the kid that typed that. All I eat is fucking cheeseburgers. Am I able to just like blend that into a... I think that would be pretty good.
Science, or is this like
This is like science. This is Canadian government website.
Damn. That plate has got me bricked up.
Bro. Like the vacuum going in the back.
Following this conversation, I genuinely did about like 3 days worth of research to come up with the following recipe. For carbs, we have 9 cups of oats, 14 sweet potatoes, and 4 cups of whole wheat flour. For protein, we have 2 kilograms of tofu, 28 eggs. Yes, this genuinely took me
28 eggs? And 2 kilograms of fucking tofu.
3 days to come up with, and 1 cup of chia seeds. For fats, we have 3 avocados, 2 cups of walnuts, half a cup of olive oil, and for just about everything else,
I think the avocados are currently ruining this. I think the avocados are throwing off the vibes. Even though I do like avocado, I think that's ruining...
14 cups of
ruining this.
Spinach, 7 carrots, lots of salt, and 7 teaspoons of spirulina. I'm gonna blend this all in with about 16 ounces of almond milk, and if you want to know what the procedure looks like, it's just, you just gotta do a little...
Like a...
Oh, dude, it being green is really off-putting. This looks like a bear vomited salmon. It being green is gross. What color? I would probably put food dye in it. What color would make it most appealing? Honestly, I feel like a brown would be like a chocolate brown. It would look more like poop, but I feel like that would get it out of my brain.
Bear vomited salmon.
Wait till I add the 28 eggs.
So,
oh no. Does he have to cook it?
I think from here it's like you have
Cody's currently explaining how the Epic of Gilgamesh directly led to the creation of anime.
Roman ideals formed out of the Greeks.
Right, on a completely unrelated note.
You're filming a YouTube video, your friend just shows up. So, you know, like Gilgamesh.
Do we have a mop bucket?
Oh my god, no, that is so much worse than I thought it would look. And he's putting it in a fucking recyclable bin. I hope it's unused. Dude.
I then put the blended slop into baking trays.
It kind of looks like Dubai chocolate.
And end up with 5
I think that, ooh, wait.
bricks, which is about 20,000.
Okay. Do I think it'll taste good? No. Does it look kind of like a good pistachio brownie? Yeah.
Calories to get me through the next 7 days. So without further ado, let's...
I think day 7, it's going to be really hard.
Move on to... Okay, here's my daily brick. Let's just go.
He only has to eat 1 per day. If he only has to eat 1 per day, that is actual full-on fucking diet maxing. There's no way that's 2,000 calories plus.
Go for it. Let's. It tastes like just like someone took a normal meal and then pre-chewed it and then spat it into my mouth. The brick didn't.
And you didn't gag?
Didn't taste too bad at first, but after about a meal and a half, I realized that no, it really does. It tastes like shit. I cannot.
Oh no.
Describe to you how much the flavor is reminiscent of vomit. So I tried.
Oh. Like just a weird mix of, because vomit is like half digested food, but it's also basically just like blended food. Like it's just a weird mix of stuff that you've eaten over the last day. Do you think you would get used to it though? Like how many days of doing this would you just not care anymore? At some point, bro, like a week in, you would be like, this is better than eating regular food. Not better in the sense of enjoyable, but like you could be like, damn, I haven't eaten today. House the brick in 2 minutes, and then you're fucking good to go for the next 6 hours.
Trying it up to see if that would make it taste better, and I'm censoring this because it quite genuinely looks.
Oh, he cooked it?
Like I shat into the pan. And no, it just tastes like the same thing, but hot. So now it's like fresh vomit, I guess. This made day 1 easily the hardest day of the challenge, and it gets easier later on, and you'll see how it gets easier on...
I feel like, do you think frozen would be better? Like a frozen brick of blended food? I don't know, maybe refrigerated, like on the brink of being frozen.
On day 2, I had a bite of the brick, and I thought, hell no, I can't do this. So I had 2 options here. I could either scrap the video altogether, or I could come up with some way to make this easier for me. Which is why at this point in the video, I allow myself 1 topping.
Dude, 1 topping, brother, sriracha. All over. Anything that tastes like fucking shit, make it really spicy, and it's immediately good. That is like the fucking life hack. You ever see like street food vendors that'll do that? You just make anything really fucking spicy. It's just so good. Maybe not the best thing you've ever had. It's tolerable.
For the rest of the challenge.
Mayonnaise. I think mayonnaise would bring this down. I don't think mayo's saving this brick.
But to decide which topping I would be using, I would have to go through some trial and error. So in front of me right now is my daily brick.
Pickles. I think Frank's Red Hot, pretty good. Soy sauce, all right. Vinegar, no.
Along with every condiment that I could find in my house. I'm gonna try them all and I'm gonna rate them 1 to 10. 3, 3.5, 6, 5, 7.
Peanut butter was good. Chili oil's good.
3, 4, holy shit, 9.
Kimchi is good on the brick. I mean, there's a lot of tofu and egg.
7, 2, 3, 5, 2. That's a 9.
Hot sauce! Oh no, the kimchi one? Fuck. I was gonna say hot sauce was a 9. That's goated though.
5, 2. That's a 9.
Hot sauce, bro, because hot sauce is if you put hot sauce on something, it is the forefront flavor of the food you're eating. The rest is just texture. And if the texture isn't gross and all you're tasting is Frank's Red Hot, you're going, huh, this is pretty fucking good. Well, isn't kimchi also spicy at times?
Now, remember Cody from the beginning of this video? Yeah, it's also his birthday at the end of this week. So for the nights leading up to it, I thought I would do a good friend thing and I would make him some nice dinners. I'm probably going to be frothing it.
Oh, he's gonna be. My friend Cody's actually pretty busy, so I'm gonna give him a slice of my food brick.
The mouth while making the food, but at least I can fatten up my roommate before I cook him into my evil stew. Bars.
Actually, though, the level of efficiency this gives to your life is insane. Imagine, I mean, a lot of you guys don't meal prep now because your parents might make you food and shit, but imagine you're like 25. You have to meal prep like 2-3 times a week. And you have to go to the grocery store and buy a bunch of different things for meals. And instead, you just one time a week get an industrial blender and mix all of the food that you're gonna eat in a week and just fucking stack it in your fridge. Like, how gross that is, but that would be, you would save so much time.
So for the first night, I decided to make Cody some. Wait, that's not dinner, silly. That's a
pre-alcohol probiotic drink.
Sponsor of today's video, Z-Biotics. Okay, I have to tell you about this
maybe I should have known about that before I fucking drank 23 margaritas.
Product that I use before a night with drinks. It's called
I think some of these products work, but the part of the problem is that a lot of the products that are like, hey, this will make you feel better when you're done drinking, then you just drink more. You know what I mean? Like, even if that's gonna settle your stomach or help, then you just drink more because now you feel better. Like, humans don't have limits. Humans at some point, like some people do, but there's like a level of being drunk where you just don't stop drinking until you fall asleep. Not everybody has that. A lot of people at bars, it's like you're so drunk you just keep saying yes to drinks. So if you're on something that's going to make that so you have even a higher of a limit, I feel like
alcohol.
Okay, I know this is a sponsor, but I kind of want to hear this out.
Biotics pre-alcohol probiotic is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut.
This is such targeted advertising.
It's primarily this byproduct that is to blame for your rough next day. Now, pre-alcohol produces an enzyme to
options when he returns to steal a $5 fucking poster that is probably made of dog shit fucking material as well.
On the early morning of January 1st, 2016, I committed my crime of taking out the important political slogan from the staff-only area of the Angakdo International Hotel, aimed at harming the work ethic and the motivation of the Korean people.
And he explains,
what, the fucking one janitor and the maid at the hotel, dude? They probably have no guests at that fucking hotel anyway. I mean,
the plot goes all the way to the top.
The United States administration already knows about my act through the CIA, which is closely linked to the Z Society, and connived at my...
Yo, the Z Society actually sounds like some shit that's made up from like a Disney film. Like, genuinely.
Crime.
The church, too, is linked to the government.
The Friendship United Methodist Church is not a typical church. It is very wealthy, with $42 million. That is why the United States administration...
Yeah, the fucking $42 million. I mean, that number might be accurate across all of the Methodist churches combined. His local Cincinnati church does not have $42 million.
Has very close ties with this church.
He was manipulated, plain and simple.
I was clearly given the task by the Friendship United Methodist Church. I was encouraged by the Z Society. My crime is very severe and pre-planned. I regret my actions more than anything. I beg for forgiveness, and I beg for help in any way possible to save my life.
완비호의 발언이 끝났습니다. 들으신 바와 같이 미 행정부는 우리 공화국을 반대하는 정말 더러운 행위를 감행하고 있습니다.
Experts agree that Otto Warmbier's confession seemed quite obviously coerced and staged.
Yeah. What? I mean, yo, how, dude, even the average North Korean person watching this, there's no way that they don't know what Methodists are. Like, I think they're just going, oh, the religion in the United States. Yeah, they always say religion's bad here. Ooh, they're conniving against us.
Yeah, has a history of coercing confessions, and the U.S. accused North Korea of broadcasting this one for propaganda purposes. A member of the Z Society said Otto had never approached them and denied any affiliation with the...
What is the Z Society? That's an actual thing? What the fuck? A secret society that was founded in Virginia in 1892?
Remain anonymous because the belief that service, when provided anonymously, provides a unique philanthropic opportunity.
CIA, and the senior pastor at Friendship United Methodist Church said he didn't know of the deaconess mentioned by Otto. But this is later, after it's too late. Now, standing before the Supreme Court, all Otto can do is beg.
I was used and manipulated. Please, act to save me. Please save my life.
But his pleas fall on deaf ears. He's handcuffed and led from the room. He's been sentenced to 15 years of hard labor. 2 days later, on March 18, the Korean Central News Agency released the CCTV footage to the public. Western news outlets treat
Bro, that's not him. Oh my God. I feel like the story I was fed was from North Korea. What the fuck?
the footage with suspicion. That figure could be anyone.
That shit's in 140p.
One story notes that the corridor is well lit, something that, in a country where electricity is scarce, is far from the norm for staff-only spaces. Some of his tour mates give interviews. One of them, Sarah McLaughlin, says there was an issue with the time shown in the video.
Your group had been out at a New Year's Eve party in the hours before that. Were you even back at the hotel then?
No, the time didn't match up at all.
According to her,
What the fuck? So from the start, North Korea planned on pinning this on someone, and they picked Otto because he didn't go out with the rest of them. Like, if Otto had gone bowling or something, they would have just picked somebody else.
the young pioneers didn't return to the hotel until around 3 a.m., more than an hour after the footage was allegedly captured.
Oh my God.
Another tour mate says in an interview with the BBC that Otto was careful to observe the rules. They'd been told not to take pictures of military staff or installations, and he'd been nervous when taking a photo with military personnel in the background.
Men for mig giver det simpelthen ikke mening, at den samme fyr, som stod og var så nervøs over at få taget det her ene billede, som måske var lidt på kant med det, vi havde fået at vide, vi måtte, så skulle kunne drikke sig så fuld og forvandle sig til et helt andet menneske nærmest, og så bare jorde op og prøve at stjæle et banner.
His roommate, Danny Grattan, also doubts that it was Otto.
We never mentioned anything remotely like that. We'd already bought some souvenirs. In my heart of hearts, the guy I knew for 3 or 4 days was not that type of guy.
Everything about the whole story was fabricated, in my opinion.
But why?
Otto's parents, Fred and Cindy, turned to the Obama administration for help, but the Warm
Oh, was Trump not president at this time?
Beers later said they were advised to keep quiet. According to GQ, Robert King, the special envoy for North Korean human rights issues, warned that drawing media attention to the ordeal might anger the regime.
Oh my God, and then they would just kill him. I don't even think that's bad, the government, because my point was like, if Trump was president, I feel like he'd be like, I'm just going to kill you guys, give him back. But then they would just kill him. King warned Warmbiers to expect a marathon, not a sprint. He recommended the family be quiet to avoid antagonizing the unpredictable regime.
Media attention to the ordeal
Yeah, because they could just do anything.
might anger the regime. What makes it even more complicated is that the United States has never had a formal diplomatic relationship with North Korea. There is no U.S. embassy in Pyongyang.
Yeah, so how are they even going to communicate?
The Swedish ambassador serves as the liaison for Americans, but the Swedes' calls and emails are met with silence. The days turn to weeks, turn to months. Efforts at back-channel diplomacy are stymied. The issue is passed from one administration to the next. No one knows where Otto is, what he's doing, or how he's being treated. Then, in early June 2017, some 17 months after his detention, the news finally arrives. Otto is unconscious. An extraction team of doctors and diplomats is put together. And finally,
Let me start by saying that I'm glad Secretary of State Rex Tillerson and I, along with a very talented team, were able to get Otto Warmbier back with his parents.
Fucking idiot, dude. Like, I mean, like, we got Otto Warmbier back. He's in a fucking coma. We got Otto Warmbier back. He's brain dead. He's, what the fuck? We got him off the plane. You got him back. You got a body back, bro. You ain't get the guy back. Otto's not there mentally.
Otto Warmbier is returned to U.S. soil on June 13.
We're thrilled that our son is on American soil, and I'm able to talk to you on Otto's behalf, and I'm able to wear the jacket that he wore when he gave his confession. Otto, I love you, and I'm so crazy about you.
Bro, this whole fucking thing feels weird, man. Like, even there, I feel like the dad would be, like, crashing out.
Last night, being able to see Otto for the first time in, gosh, I bet it's 18 months, it was fantastic.
Mad at Trump? I'm not mad at Trump. I'm just saying that speech where they were like, oh, we got Otto Warmbier back. Like, it's not a victory, bro. He's not, like, make sure he's alive and well. Like, that'd be like, we got this person back. He's in a vegetative state.
Otto's not in great shape right now, and he's been through a real tough time, and it's great to have him with us, and I'm very proud of him.
Otto is home.
Were they supposed to leave him there? No, but don't announce on a press conference to up your PR that you got a guy back like you just killed Osama bin Laden, when in reality, the guy you got back, you didn't get back safe. That's all I'm saying. Like, they were met with soft ears, did nothing for 17 months, and then he comes back fucking almost dead.
When Cindy and Fred met Otto at the airport, they were shocked.
We walked over to the plane. We heard this howling, involuntary, inhuman sound. Otto was on the stretcher across in the plane, and he was jerking violently, making these inhuman sounds. Otto had a shaved head. He had a feeding tube coming out of his nose. He was blind. He was deaf.
We got Otto Warmbier back. Like, you see the point I'm trying to make? You see the point? That's all I was just trying to say. Can we lock back in on this poor guy that's dying, right? Like, that's all I was just trying to say is, like, why are you giving a speech like it's a fucking victory, bro? Like,
He was taken to the University of Cincinnati Medical Center's Neuroscience Intensive Care Unit, where extensive imaging and diagnostic tests immediately began.
His vital signs were stable upon arrival and have remained so.
He
was blind, deaf, on a feeding tube, and convulsing violently. Wow.
Help breathing, no signs of infection.
What do we know why? Do we know why they sent him back? Like, did North Korea just ship him back? Fern didn't fill that. He said the Swedish liaison couldn't contact North Korea. Nothing happened for 17 months, and then randomly they're informed that he's unconscious and he's shipped back to the United States. So what? Like, North Korea, like, almost killed the guy and went, oh, fuck, now this is going to be a problem. We got to send him back.
Dysfunction of non-neurological organs. His neurological condition, though, is described as unresponsive wakefulness.
Oh, were they, like, electrocuting him or something?
What used to be called a vegetative state. He blinks. Sometimes his eyes open, but he isn't aware of his surroundings and doesn't respond to verbal commands.
Oh, are you not supposed to say that anymore? I thought that was like a fucking medical term. No, it just says it's unresponsive. A vegetative state or unresponsive wakefulness syndrome means a person is awake but shows no signs of awareness, purposeful response to their environment, and this is due to severe brain damage. Yeah, so they were like torturing him.
To see how he came home was too much for us, but I almost passed out, but I got it together and I rode in the ambulance with him because I did not want him to be alone anymore. He'd been alone for way too long.
He's surrounded by his loved ones, but his condition soon worsens. He develops a high fever 40 degrees Celsius. Fred and Cindy.
The controversial rise of the steroid Olympics. I don't know if he's going to do an intro. Okay, no. I'm seeing, I was going to explain it, but seeing that it's there, you know, I'll let him take it away.
The Olympics have no chance.
No, I won't. The steroid Olympics are just the Olympics that another guy made to rival the actual Olympics where they're allowed to take steroids. Pretty self-explanatory. They're actually encouraged to take steroids.
In 2024, Olympic runner-up James Magnussen became the first athlete to join the Enhanced Games.
Or the Doping Olympics, as it's been dubbed.
Controversial sporting competition where drug cheats aren't just allowed, they're actually the stars.
And Wired tells us that they'll be holding their first edition in May 2026 in the City of Sin, Las Vegas.
The creators' goal? To overshadow the Olympics.
So wouldn't it be more fair to have an enhanced games on the one side and a natural, slow, boring Olympics on the other?
Safe to
Bro, here's the problem, though, is these guys will still get fucking smoked. Like, yo, that's the thing. Is, like, the guys that are going to go into the Enhanced Olympics are, like, the 4th place finishers, you know? They're 5th place. Michael Phelps isn't going to leave the Olympic Games to go take fucking Arnavar or Tren and go fucking swim and do mildly better, right? Like, the guys that are going to go do it are the ones that won't win naturally. Which it's like, I understand the entertainment value. I do. Of like, hey, why don't we just have no limit? Like, let's see if a guy can just take steroids that averagely runs like a 10-1 and see if he could beat Usain Bolt's world record 100 meter. It's like, you know, I understand that. Like, that is an interesting premise. It's just like, it's really hard to get, it's really hard monetarily to get sponsors behind an event that is actively promoting steroid use. It's easier for like IFBB pros because it's like, we don't know if they take steroids. We just don't test them. Meanwhile, you have Phil Heath in the background just fucking sitting there, 320 pounds. He looks like he's a person standing inside of a person. We don't know if they take steroids. We're just not going to test. And so it's easy, right? Like, but it's like monetarily, I don't know. Like, I hear about the Enhanced Games every year, it seems, but I've never seen them.
Safe to say, not everyone is a fan.
It's a gambler's Russian roulette with 6 bullets in the barrel.
I think looking at this from the outside, it's just got death written all over it.
I just find this really, really terribly sad.
So why are more and more Olympians signing up? What's the cunning business model powering it all? And how did this all begin in the most unexpected place?
We didn't get to this last on Monday, but like that billionaire who wants to start the steroid Olympics.
This was the moment that would ignite the Enhanced Games. A local Australian podcast simply discussing the concept.
Who could we talk to? Who would be able to give you a bit of an insight there? Like,
well, I tell you who would have some idea, surely, who is a friend of the show, is the Missile.
They called up a retired Olympic swimmer, not knowing he was about to light the fuse that would set everything into motion.
If they put up $1 million for the 53...
I mean, do you think that being on roids... See, that's the thing is like, it depends on the event. You know what I mean? Being on steroids in the Olympics, really good for Olympic weightlifting. You know? But like, trained shooters, you know, archery. I'm assuming it's like the steroid Olympics are for the big events, you know, track, swimming, maybe like water polo. But like, are you going to get a team of guys on roids to play water polo against each other? I don't know. Wrestling, yeah. But I mean, it's like, there's a lot of events that, there's more events than not that you would probably do better on steroids. But it's like, how much better are you going to do to where like, even if that's really what makes or breaks the steroid Olympics, is if your star guy got 4th place in the regular Olympics, he's on fucking crazy amounts of steroids and he still can't, even come close to matching Michael Phelps' average fucking 200 fly time, you know, it's fucked.
Style world record. I'll come on board as their first athlete. I'll juice to the gills and I'll break it within 6 months.
Organisers took the offer, putting out a bounty for breaking the record under the enhanced games.
That's one big carrot. It's a big carrot.
He became the first official athlete to join the games, and his transformation quickly drew attention.
Are you?
Bro, I feel like at some point though, it's like, yo, his big ass ain't getting through the water now. You know what I mean? Like, he's fucking, bro, in this left picture, he looks like he could be like 6'3", 190. This right pic, he looks like he'd be 240. I feel like whatever he gains in muscle, now he's just dragging fucking weight. You know? Like, is he gaining anything off of the power enhancement that he's losing in, like, weight gain and how much he has to pull himself? Like, the fatigue's got to be crazy, even with the steroids.
Are you seeing what I am seeing?
But the concept of a steroid Olympics isn't new. It was first mocked by SNL back in 1988.
The first all-drug Olympics open today in Bogota, Colombia.
Oh, he's pulled his arms off! He's pulled his arms.
The man who turned this into a reality was Aaron D'Souza, who identified it as a lucrative business opportunity.
I feel like there's one good one good SNL skit every like 15, 20. You know, you see the good, like if you watch a full show of Saturday Night Live, you'll have like one or two skits that you're like, this is funny. And the other ones you're like, why did they include that? They mapped that out. Like I watched one recently that was about this woman that got a bad haircut. It was like some dinner and she shows up and she just has the worst haircut ever. And they're like trying to ignore it. And then she turns around, she's a bald spot in the back of her head, and they're like, ooh, no, it's good. Like, that's not, I don't know. I feel like that's not that good. That's not funny.
Studying the Olympics and the Olympic movement my entire life.
D'Souza noticed a few issues with the Olympics. The first one being doping.
44% of Olympians admit to using banned performance-enhancing drugs within the last year, according to research.
And the other...
Really? So the people in the Olympics are already roiding, so it doesn't matter. The average person in the Olympics may be using steroids. So it's like, all right, well now we're gonna make it that they're allowed to use them.
You know, probably lying.
Or losing. Yeah, exactly.
Take the most prestigious event, sprinting.
Why do they do steroids? Because they're going to get better, bigger, faster, stronger. What? Steroids, it basically fast track progress. And the limiter that you have is now twofold. Like that's the problem too, is that a lot of guys specifically that are probably watching my stream right now that are 16 to 20 go, wow, steroids seems awesome, right? Because on the surface level, you're going to get way more jacked. You're going to get a lot fucking leaner. You're going to feel a lot stronger, right? So on surface level, like if it seems like a fucking god drug, but then the backside is like, you might have erectile dysfunction in your mid-20s. You might have a heart attack by 35. You might have low testosterone naturally for the rest of your life after you get off. And when you do get off, you might lose all the progress that you had previously, right? Like you would have acne. You might roid rage. I think is kind of like miscommunicated. Roid rage exists, but it's like I think a lot of people say if you take steroids, you're just going to be an angry fucking Hulk that's incapable of holding down your emotions. And to that, I say, look at like what's his name? He wears a hat. He has curly black hair. Oh my God. I'm literally staring at his face right now. He's big right now. He's like a Sam Sulek. Sam Sulek, nice guy, holds it down. You know, like, I don't think that's a guy that kind of shows, hey, like, roid rage exists, but it's not something that's, like, prevalent in every person. But even then, it's like, it's just health problems, man. That's the worry that you're going to have. And a lot of people that do use steroids that might not advocate for them, but, you know, kind of are your role models in the steroid space, also have enough money from their influencing work in professional, you know, like job salary that they're able to pay doctors to help fund what they should and shouldn't do in a very meticulous way to where it's safer than the average person's usage, right? Like these guys that are professional bodybuilders that are on steroids are getting doctors to tell them what they should and shouldn't take, what their cycle should and shouldn't be, versus you who's just shoving a needle in your own ass in your fucking bathroom with some shit you found from a guy at your Planet Fitness. That's like that. You see what I mean? Like there's a difference between it's like, you know what, like you have a professional telling you like, hey, this is what you need to take versus like you just kind of like self-diagnosing what you need to like input into your body in like a safe manner. You're just fucking juicing up in a Planet Fitness bathroom.
If you look at the 100-meter,
like that's not, God, my God.
If you look at the 100-meter time, it's the fastest man in the world. 7 of the top 10 fastest 100-meter runners in history have had a doping violation.
Here's the thing that I feel like he's slightly skewing, and I don't know the facts on this, but I think this guy is skewing what he's saying slightly, right? What he's saying is right, that the top 7 sprinters have had doping violations, but I really want somebody to fact check whether or not that's doping, meaning steroids. Because there are a lot of banned substances that Olympic athletes are not allowed to use, and many of them are not really performance enhancers, right? Justin Gatlin did use testosterone. That is one that I know about. I'm reading this right now. Justin Gatlin, if you know sprinters, did use steroids. Or testosterone, rather. Asafa Powell used a stimulant, oxylofrin. Christian Coleman got banned for 18 months to 3 whereabout failures. No evidence of drug use. Methylxanamine, clomiphene. Bro, see, they're using shit that's like, when he says doping, I feel like a lot of the time you're going, oh, they're using like anabolic steroids. But a lot of the time it's like they're using shit that's not allowed, but it's not the same thing as like them just fucking shoving a needle in their ass. It's like some weird fucking stimulant that they're using on a day-to-day basis.
7
that they buy over the counter or get from a doctor.
Top 10 fastest 100-meter runners in history have had a doping violation. And the only one that's not in the top 5 is Usain Bolt.
Instead of having the athletes dope with underground drugs, D'Souza argues this is a safer, a more honest approach.
We will allow all substances at minimum that are clinically approved and that can be dispensed by physicians.
You see, athletes have long had to deal with other countries' doping. From the Chinese swim team.
Oh, no, yeah, and it's not even just in the Olympics. Who was the one fucking guy that was hitting dingers left and right in baseball? He was on fucking steroids every day. Fuck. He's like one of the best baseball players that's ever played. Was it Barry Bonds? Yeah, Barry Bonds was hitting fucking grand slams left and right. That guy was fucking juiced to the gills. That's what I'm saying, though. I agree with his point. That's like, hey, these are leagues.
Warmbier are told that he'll never wake up, and they ask to have his feeding tube removed. 6 days after his release, Otto is dead. The news travels across the world.
The family of Otto Warmbier has said goodbye.
Valid. That's what I'm saying, dude. When you get told that they're never going to wake up and they're just going to be perpetually kept alive on machines, it's time, you know?
Nach dem Tod des
Sad.
Studenten Otto Warmbier.
Otto Warmbier скончался после возвращения из тюрьмы в Северной Корее.
Otto Warmbier murió pocos días después de ser entregado a los...
And what's so bad is we won't even know what they did to him, right? Because it's like, if he had woken up, he could have been like, Jesus Christ, and like told his story of like the North Korean prison camps and how they tortured him and all this other stuff. But he's fucking dead. So it's just like they literally just got sent a body.
而在台湾时间今天20号凌晨去世。
The American student who fell into a coma while in North Korean custody and has died.
On June 22, in Wyoming, Ohio, more than 2,000.
There's a city named Wyoming, Ohio.
500 people attend his funeral. The condition in which Otto Warmbier came back to the U.S. and his sub...
I did not know that there were cities that had the state name for a city. 500 people attended his funeral. Wow.
Wyoming, Ohio. More than 2,500...
They always say the impact on the people you had in your life is determined by how many people show up at your death.
People attend his funeral. The condition in which Otto Warmbier came back to the U.S. and his subsequent death are discussed nationwide. He left the United States in good health. He returned on the brink of death.
Do you know what happened to him in North Korea?
Untrue. I don't think it's untrue, but I think how you affect and touch people in your life does matter, right? The people that care are the people that show up.
I don't.
Content note: the following chapter discusses suicide. Viewer discretion is advised. Upon his release, North Korea gave an explanation for Otto's state. They said he contracted botulism, a rare and severe kind of food poisoning, after eating a meal of spinach and pork. After he fell ill,
They were probably giving him fucking slop and actual terrible food, dude. Like, they weren't keeping him in good condition.
they gave him a sleeping pill, to which he had some sort of unexpected reaction, which sent him into a state of unresponsive wakefulness. But U.S. medical experts are quick to dispute this story. 3 doctors, experts in neurology, ran tests on Otto while he was still alive. At the request of the family, they hold a press conference to give their opinions.
Those tests did not reveal any evidence of active or chronic denervation, nor any repetitive stimulation that would suggest active botulism at this time.
The North Koreans,
So they just made that shit up. I mean, yo, that's actually fucking unreal, dude.
Teams are lying, and the Warmbiers have a different story.
They tortured him. They intentionally injured him. It looked like someone had taken a pair of pliers and rearranged his bottom teeth. He had a large scar on his right foot.
They destroyed him.
They purposely and intentionally injured Otto.
On September 25, 2017, Fred and Cindy Warmbier gave an
I do love that they're doing this now, where they're like, because I didn't keep involvement in this after this happened. I just had known that he had died. But I love that they went out on news stations and were like speaking against it.
Interview on Fox and Friends. Trump apparently watched. This becomes the narrative: physical torture.
Yeah.
And, as a consequence, brain damage. But soon, serious doubts emerge. Let's go through his injuries one by one. First, there was a noticeable scar on Otto's right foot. This is Dr. Lakshmi Samarko, the coroner selected to conduct an external autopsy. Fred Warmbier had noticed the scar, but had Dr. Samarko?
Physically, as far as wounds, there were a few small scars that we documented. There was one that we really couldn't explain for medical instrumentation, which some of the other scars we could. But there wasn't anything on the external examination to indicate, other than that one scar that we couldn't explain, to indicate torture.
The Warmbiers opted against a complete autopsy, offering no reason for this decision. But Dr. Samarko did perform an external inspection. Later, in a lawsuit against North Korea, an expert witness cited the scar on Otto's foot as potential.
A lawsuit against North Korea. How's that working? Hey, Kim Jong-un, we're suing you. No, you're not. And then they just move on. Like, how do you sue North Korea?
Evidence that he was subjected to torture, possibly electric shock. But does this injury prove Otto was tortured? No. Then there are his teeth.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't even say the rearranged teeth. I would assume that if he had gotten tortured, they were like zapping his brain. Like that shit they were doing during World War II at that school. Or what? It wasn't a school. What was it called? With that doctor? Unit 731. Yeah, Unit 731 and Shiro Ishii. And they would like zap people's brains and shit. Like they would just keep, it would be like electrocution torture, but it would be like to change your mind.
Fred Warmbier said it looked as though Otto's bottom teeth had been rearranged. Dr. Samarko couldn't confirm this.
We also consulted our forensic dentist, Dr. Wright, And I had him take a look at the imaging, specifically dealing with the lower teeth and mandible. He agreed with us that there is no evidence of trauma to the lower teeth or mandible.
In the lawsuit, this finding was disputed. Two of Otto's private dentists testified that his post-mortem dental x-rays, when compared to previous x-rays, indicated that some of his lower teeth had been bent backward, movement consistent with an impact injury. The New York Times had reported that Otto had been repeatedly beaten. That's not impossible. An ex-North Korean spy who was familiar with, though not directly involved in Otto's case, said he'd heard Otto was roughed up by prison guards.
그분이 감옥에 있으면서 간수들이 있잖아요. 간수들이 많이 때렸대요. 왜 때렸냐면 언어가 안 되잖아요.
He also continues to say that there might have been waterboarding. To him, that's standard practice, what he'd call
yeah, non-physical, like it's physical torture, but not something that would show up in like wounds.
battery rather than torture. It's difficult to say whether this ex-spy is credible though. And even if Otto's teeth were bent backward, it's impossible to know for certain what caused that. Finally, the biggest injury of all, his brain injury.
The most important diagnostic test thus far was a magnetic resonance imaging scan of the brain. This study showed extensive loss of brain tissue in all regions of the brain.
In other words, the damage is universal, and scans show it occurred all at once. There's a technical term for this, an anoxic encephalopathy. It means an injury caused by a lack of oxygen to the brain. So either blood ceased to flow to Otto's brain, which would result in a lack of oxygen, or Otto stopped breathing.
This pattern of brain injury, however, is usually seen as a result of cardiopulmonary arrest, where the blood supply to the brain is inadequate for a period of time, resulting in the death of brain.
Oh my God, are they saying that he took his own life when he was in prison?
In tissue.
In general terms, one of the more likely causes of a cardiopulmonary arrest in a young person would have been a respiratory arrest.
In all likelihood, Otto stopped breathing. Any number of events could have caused this. An allergic reaction, choking, near drowning, anything that might prevent oxygen from reaching his brain. But which of these events was the cause? There's no way to know.
I hate that.
We have no certain or verifiable knowledge of the cause.
How could he have done that? Asphyxiation?
Or circumstances of his neurological injury.
A cause that could almost certainly be ruled out was repeated beatings. Repeated beatings to the head would have caused asymmetrical damage, with some regions being affected more than others. Also, scans revealed no fractures of the skull. Despite all this uncertainty, the Warmbiers insist on torture. And the question of whether Otto was tortured or not is not a medical side note. By now, it has the potential to escalate a simmering conflict between two nuclear powers. A year and a half before, mere days after Otto's detention, North Korea had carried out its fourth nuclear test, in defiance of international sanctions. It also launched a long-range missile. In September 2016, it performed another nuclear test. By 2017...
Bro, I just don't understand how, like, Russia and China don't also want to just step in and stop them, because they're their own powers that, you know, obviously are semi-allied, but like they have to witness Kim Jong-un and go, this is fucking crazy. You know, like Russia does its own shit, and you know, right now they're in war with Ukraine and it's horrible. But they're getting like North Koreans are allies and aiding them in this. So I'm like, it just has to be like they're turning a blind eye. Like there's no way they're like, yo, you gotta stop. Like that's worrisome for them as well. No, I feel like Kim Jong-un's like not sane in the way that like Xi Jinping is in like how he's gonna hold certain like conflicts, you know? Like you don't want, like I think it's more scary if Kim Jong-un gets nuclear power than Xi Jinping, you know, like, but I mean, obviously Xi Jinping does have nuclear capabilities, but I'm saying like that's less scary for the world, you know? Like, even on either side, you're seeing this. You're like, maybe we shouldn't give this dictator nuclear power. Not give it to him, but allow him to have that.
The year of Otto's return, the confrontation between the U.S. and North Korea was near the
Who's Xi Jinping, leader of China?
boiling point.
North Korea best not make any more threats to the United States. They will be met with fire and fury like the world has never seen.
It was the beginning of the 2017-2018 North Korea crisis. Meanwhile, Otto Warmbier's case took on an increased political weight. Trump had adopted the torture hypothesis as fact.
Trump need to press that red button. Terrible idea. You nuke North Korea, they're going to fucking nuke everybody else before they die. It's the same shit, dude. It's just mutually assured destruction. That's why nuclear war is like the max out for countries. It's just it enables you to have like an ultimate last defense of like, okay, even if you wipe my country off the map, we'll still kill you.
Senator John McCain said Otto had been tortured and murdered. Senators Adam Schiff and Marco Rubio also used the word murder. Fred Warmbier's analysis was that his son served as a sort of human shield.